Man these shields, boys! Remember this day, men, for it will be yours for all time.
Welcome to the night zone, hear the warriors speak. Life's the battlefield and we ain't feeling weak. From love to the game and the power we seek. Got a voice, a strong breaking every peak. Talk of love and battle scars, everything that's real. From touchdown to sermon, you know the deal. Strength in every word we begin to reveal. Truth in every tale as our lives we unveil. Talk of love and battle scars, everything that's real. From touchdown to sermon, you know the deal. Strength in every word we begin to reveal. Truth in every tale as our lives we unveil. Protect and provide, we're knights in the fray. Nothing off limits, we got something to say. Life and love, fitness and fight all day. God's Night Podcast, let's ride the wave. Politics and prayers, ain't no subject we shun. Keep it real, keep it raw till the battle's won. Fitness tips to faith, every topic under the sun. With honor and valor, every man's battle begun. Warriors with words, swords through the air. Every point sharp and every talk fair. Knights at the round table, come and pull up a chair. Join the brotherhood, words laid bare. Protect and provide, we're knights in the fray. Nothing off limits, we got something to say. Life and love, fitness and fight all day. God's Night Podcast, let's ride the wave.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Guys Night, the podcast that's got everybody talking. I am Will McEwen, and as always, I've got some guys here with me ready to chat. To my right, we'll start with you. Nick, what's happening, brother?
Oh, it's going. Nick Montequilla, fitness enthusiast and like semi-pro Magic card player.
Almost said it with a straight face.
I know, right?
Almost.
So
good. Almost.
I mean, semi-pro means like you're almost pro, so really everybody's semi-pro.
Legit, like I've actually played several pro events, so I am pro, but
Have you been paid for it?
I have.
That means you're a pro.
That's it.
That's it. Here we go.
Boom. All right, Danny, what's happening, man?
Hello. How's it going?
Good, bud.
Not semi-pro Magic player, sadly. Going good. Rough week. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But we're coming on the come up right now. It's okay. It's all
Wrecked
right.
your car.
Wrecked my car.
Sprained your ankle.
my ankle. But
It made
my
the volleyball D team.
yeah, dude. So the volleyball team won. They won, but I sprained my ankle in the cost of it, so it's okay.
Did you play?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go in late. My team's losing, and my friend's like, "Your team needs you." I'm like, I know. So they lose. I jump in. We win. I get the nastiest spike and set ever. And then the next game, I sprained my ankle, so they lost. And they had a guy from upper level sub in for me, and then they won again.
Nice.
So we ended up winning.
Crazy. Evan, what's happening down there, dude?
Just same old stuff. Looking up stuff and
Swipe it on the Tinder.
swipping on the Tinder, swipey swipe.
Midstream, dude.
Yeah,
Love it, dude. Whatever it takes to have a
no
good time.
man.
Hey, you gotta expand my horizons sometimes.
I met my wife on the internet.
There you go.
Yeah?
Yeah, really, true story.
Really?
No
Yeah,
shit.
plenty of fish. If anyone remembers.
Get the fuck out
I
of
swear to
here.
God, dude. I swear to God. I had it. This is a good story.
That's like the first original dating. Here, before we get into that,
yeah. Go, dude.
David,
This is a good story.
welcome to the show as well, brother. Good to have you back.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple of things that we have to work on. Those following us, please make sure you like, subscribe, share the channel. We are going to try to avoid cussing for the first 60 seconds because YouTube does not like that at all, apparently.
For the first 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can cuss all you want.
Well, no, they still don't like it.
Siri,
but
start a timer for 1 minute.
yeah,
That's not a bad idea.
but yeah. Anyhow,
Here,
that's-
I'll set a
that's
timer.
Good stuff. But
I already got it. I literally got
So
it
can
going.
we say
did you?
like?
I feel like we're almost at 60 seconds right now.
Well,
But
we'll keep it going just in case.
anyhow, yeah. So tonight we're just going to kind of talk about everything that's going on, just real world stuff. Nothing's particular. We had a guest that lined up that unfortunately couldn't make it, but we'll try and get him back on here. We are considering going live tomorrow for inauguration. Well, I guess that will be going live yesterday when this airs. Yeah, and then obviously we've still got the live shows coming out every Tuesday night, Sacred Conversations. We've got a special guest lined up for this week. And then Nick and I are still doing workouts at the warehouse every Wednesday. Last week was a great show. Freddie was a killer, man.
Yeah.
First time ever working out. We ran him through the gauntlet of the bench, deadlift, squat, and the big three. So we'll see what we got lined up for this week.
That was cool. Do we have a guest yet or no?
No, not yet. We're going to have to figure something out,
Cool.
but we'll make something happen. But yeah, anyhow, let's get into this. Plenty of fish.
Okay. Yeah. We can do that.
So
We can cuss now, by the way.
actually,
We
you
can
know,
cuss now.
that this is probably a good idea, like just on this topic, because we do have the Valentine show coming up where we're going to
dude.
talk. But it'd be interesting to hear stories like married, in a relationship, single, but like so we could probably share the stories of like the last people that we met and how we met. But let's start.
Explain what Plenty of Fish is for the people that don't know.
It's like Tinder before Tinder. Like it's the OG Tinder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I basically had it in college.
Was it on a phone app? Like
Yeah, it's a
Tinder?
phone app.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I didn't know if it was on like
it wasn't
Windows
like
7.
a dial-up AOL or anything.
It was like it was the
Emails
worst.
only.
It was the worst phone app ever.
Yeah.
Bro. Like
Well,
it crashed constantly. It was a disaster.
It was really bad. And I was, to be fair, I've been with my wife for 13 years, so we've been together a long time. So that's what was out back then.
Yeah.
And I had it in college because, like, you got a date whenever. I just banged chicks on it. It was so easy. You just like their stuff or whatever, and blah blah. And then so anyway, so my wife pops up, my soon-to-be wife pops up on there or whatever, and she had liked me, which usually it's the other way around. I'm sending the likes, and that's how it works. And so I was like, all right, yeah, she's pretty hot. Let's talk to her, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have her over. And so I messaged her to come over. She said, yeah, cool. She thinks I'm gonna take her. Now she's using this app for like dates. Like she's having dudes take her on dates, and then she'd like never call them again.
Free dinners.
For free dinners,
Free
dude.
dinners,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah, my wife grew up like kind of poor. You know what I mean? So she was like, dude, then they're taking her to Fleming's, they're taking her to Pure W and stuff.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah, which is perfect for setup for mine. So she comes over, and I was like, yeah, I live in Akron or whatever. I'm broke, whatever. And I was supposed to hang out with my buddy and her at the same time. So like, we'll just all go out. So I took her to the bars in Akron. She did not like that, dude. She's usually going to these nice places. I'm like, we're going to 6-9 Taps and we're going to go to the lounge. Right. And so we're like, we're doing Vegas, Mom. She's like, no, I'm not for this. But she's all the way down in Akron. She didn't drive from the house out to the bars. So she's stuck. Yeah. So she's stuck there. And I wasn't going to not have a good time. So we just went, dude. And, I was trying to get lucky the whole night, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then she wasn't having it. She's too classy for that shit. So I was like, yeah, she's never going to call me again. We get back to the house, and she was like, it's really late. It's like 4 a.m. at this point. She's like, can I just sleep over and then I'll just go home in the morning? I'm like, perfect. Yeah, sure. And I tried to, and nothing was happening. And so I was like, all right, whatever. So I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I gotta get this chick out of here, dude. Like, she's fucking, so I was like, hey, I gotta go to breakfast. She's like, where are you going? I'm like, Wally Waffle. She's like, all right, I'm coming. I'm like, okay, shit. So she was gonna
Who invited you? Why are you coming?
she was gonna get her free meal one way or another.
There's
so.
no Uber back then.
Yeah.
You couldn't just fucking get her picked up and scooped
Well,
up.
she had a car. She could have just drove home, but no, she wanted a free meal for sure. So jokes on her. I was gonna stick her with a check, but do you want to go to the bathrooms and get the fuck out of there? But no, so we go out, and it was so funny. We're sitting at the table and we're talking, and she's like, yeah, I don't really want anything serious. I just want to have a good time and meet somebody and see where it goes. And where the fuck were you last night? You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I said that's not true. I said you're gonna meet some guy one day and you're gonna get married and
She's
have,
not gonna be me.
have babies. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, that's all. What the point was. Then I didn't realize I was a sucker. So and then I don't know, whatever. I think like I had this complex. Like we had a really nice like little date or whatever inadvertently
For breakfast?
For breakfast, yeah,
Yeah.
it was actually a pretty good like time or whatever. And I'm like, I just kept talking to her a little bit, and then eventually hung out again or whatever. And it was history after that. But
Yeah, dude.
but yeah, plenty of fish, dude. And I wasn't looking for anything. I literally was looking for chicks to bang, and then that's what I got. So
That's
I
hilarious.
Got
got
a
chick,
wife out of that.
chick to bang for life. So that's what I got.
You got a lifer.
Well, it's funny because we're talking about having a show for like the 13th, February 13th, so it'll air on Valentine's Day, and we're talking about single conversations, like what it's like guys dating now. And I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like girls are out there trying to catch bodies now.
Yeah.
And dudes are like every guy I know is like having their heart broken, like she fucked me and then left and never called me
I'm
again.
like, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. You mean you got to go to sleep and then she didn't nag you the next day and you got to go hang out with your buddies? Like, it sounds great.
Yeah, you're gonna regret that in 10 years.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You're gonna be like, I really should have taken advantage of that era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my wife and I'm glad I'm not single, but if I was single,
Yeah.
I'd be enjoying that, dude, all
for
day.
sure.
Like,
Well, it's funny too because Oh, God, dude, when I was like 22, 23, like it was not like that. Dude, it was like prying open the fucking gates of fucking Camelot trying to get into that on a fucking
you had
Friday
to
night,
fucking
dude.
buy them flowers and take them to dinner and wine and dine them and then still probably go home with blue balls.
Dude, and hooking up after the bar, dude, if that was happening, like you were like, this might not be a good idea. That was way too easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe go to the clinic in the morning. Yeah.
The key was always to leave the bar before they flipped those damn lights on. You know?
Yeah.
Because either you saw it or your buddy saw it.
Yeah,
you know? It's
dude.
like there's no denying it. And those bright lights either. Like,
It was
you know.
It was fine as long as your buddies didn't see it, dude.
Yeah.
When I was in college, at the same place, we lived like a bunch of us in a house, or we weren't a fraternity, but we basically were. And I had the basement, and so it was like one of those houses where you can go up from the basement to the kitchen, but there's a side door. And so I would sneak chicks in through the side door so my friends upstairs didn't see what they look like. Usually met them on Plenty of Fish. So like 3 a.m, like, hey, you want to come over and watch a movie or something? Like, yeah, sure. They'd come in, like, come in the side door. All my buddies are sleeping. Like, okay, yeah. Now you're just a little bit bigger than I was. Big old girls, you know.
Oh boy.
I gotta look up what
She ain't a
happened
lady
to
unless
Plenty
she's
of
380.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, Play of Fish is still now a dating app.
Oh, it is still.
Still
Yeah,
going.
I was on it a few months ago.
Oh wait.
Evan still
I am. I
Tell
am
us.
in every day.
Tell us about that, Evan.
Oh,
What's it
dude,
like?
Plenty of Fish is trash now. They're full of bots. There's so many bots.
I feel like that's every dating. I feel like that's everything in general.
The only dating apps that are somewhat successful are, I'm not gonna lie, Bumble,
That's good.
Facebook, I bet.
Facebook,
This man
Facebook,
guy hates you, I
Facebook.
can't.
At Facebook, I get a I get a match like every other day.
Yeah.
The only problem is, the girls I'm matching with are not the girls I want at all.
Well,
you
how
have-
are
you
you
have every
matching with them? Don't you get a say in the decision if
Well,
you match?
no, they
Oh, that's
sometimes
true.
they.
Or are you just doing like a?
He's probably just liking everything
no,
he sees.
I'm not. No, and Facebook Market. Oh, well, I'm
Facebook
sorry.
Market, he's buying them.
Hold on a second.
He
has-
one free
Oh
hangout.
my god.
You have been spending a lot of time in marketplace.
Marketplace,
You've been
yeah.
sending me like GoPros and drones and
Is
shit.
there
Not
like
hoes.
undercover hoes
That's
being
where the-
sold on fucking marketplace
Yeah, that's where
right
the
now?
girls from Thailand
It's
are
dyslexia.
at.
He's reading dating app. He's actually reading marketplace. He's
my
reading
God.
wrong on his
I
phone.
thought there was a deal on a bookcase that was too good to be true, and it was gone fast. So that must have been one of those undercover ones that I just didn't understand.
No, but no. If you have enough like friends of the same girl, they'll automatically match you up, and hopefully you talk to them on the Facebook.
Oh, so it's
On
like,
the
hey,
Facebook.
on the line,
On the Facebook.
on the line.
Oh,
So you're saying that, like, if let's say you have 4 girls that are friends with this one girl, it'll be like, oh, you should.
Yeah, you should
It'll
talk to
match
them.
you automatically?
Yeah, it'll automatically match you up.
So these are mutual friends of all of ours. Then is what
Yes.
you're saying.
Some of
Spell
them,
names,
yeah.
name drop.
that could be
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
So,
that.
oh yeah, dude.
no.
do
It's gonna
do
be
like
bad.
do
Well-
like a it rhymes with. So if her name was Jennifer, be like, you know, it rhymes with
I'm just saying,
Benifer.
since, one of them starts with a K.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I'm
I
just.
know what it is actually.
Yeah,
I already know.
Does one of them start with an M?
know.
Well, and the funny thing is, I saw Lindsay on Bumble multiple times.
I believe it.
Lindsay, I've seen who else?
Oh, just name dropping. Just
Everybody.
put all
Dude,
of them.
Dude,
I'm on the dating
Blast.
app, so let's just put them all on blast.
None of our friends watch this.
Do you have every
so it's no
single
big
dating
deal.
app?
Huh?
Do you have every single dating app?
No, I have.
I don't believe you.
I have right now 5.
I feel like you have a notification for when a
Five?
new one comes
5
out.
dating apps.
A new one comes out, he automatically gets notified.
I have 5
hey,
dating
download
apps.
this
All right,
for
let's
us.
list these.
Download
What's
the-
what's
Okay,
All right,
number
hold on,
one?
hold on. Hey, guys, we're all talking all over each other.
I have Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, OkCupid, and Facebook.
No Grinder anymore. Did you get rid of that one?
No, not Grindr. No.
In case you want to mix it up.
I've heard that Hinge is really good. Like
Hinge
that's
is
the one
good.
that you like if you want like a real relationship, like that's the one to go
The
to.
only problem with Hinge is like with Hinge and Bumble, the girls have like 70% control of.
So you just get used to it. Yeah.
That's what my dad
you
says
for
to me all the
marriage.
time. Yeah.
They're grooming you already.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck this. I'm done. If you don't respond to me in the first like day that we match, then you're not worth my time.
Dude, I don't want to like this on topic a little bit, but dude, my kid did something really cool. He was like,
Other than send dick pics?
Yeah,
that was
no,
pretty cool.
No, he's made like a 180, dude. So he's dating this girl, right? He's going to church. He's real big into his faith, and she didn't really want to go to church with him. He dumped her, dude. He's like, see you later.
for him.
Love
Yeah,
that.
and he's like, I don't want a girl that I have to beg to go to church with me.
Yep.
And he's like, I don't want a girl that doesn't follow me where I want to go. Dude, 16 knows that.
Hell yeah.
I'm like,
Good for him.
That's my dog right
pretty
there.
good. So yeah, I was very impressed.
say it like that.
So basically, there's better hoes at church, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
well, no. Yeah, there probably is. Man. Dude, those Jesus girls, dude.
That's one of my hookup spots right there.
Yeah, whatever.
I bet you less than 10% of women at church that are single are actually wife material.
Probably true.
There are probably control freaks with a little bit of a crazy side that are just using this as an excuse to trap a man.
Have you ever heard of the church girls that are like preserving their virginity so they let you do backdoor shit?
No.
I heard about
That's
that.
like a thing, dude.
Is that what you do, Danny?
Not at all.
You
no.
don't have sex until you're married, but you allow them to do backdoor shit to you?
I won't do it. And, to me?
Just a fingertip.
Just
lady finger.
man.
Lady finger.
The lady fingers.
The problem with that is the finger is like, what if I'm not afraid of a finger? I'm afraid if I like it. Like, what if, then what happens? And there's like two fingers and a fucking fist, dude. Next thing you know, I'm like fucking excusing myself to sit on a traffic cone or something. It's all fucked up.
Hey, I will say, this is gonna sound real bad. I'd be walking down the house and she just like straight up like pokes me, like, stop that, put that away, do not touch my butthole. I'm like, stop doing that.
What does she poke you with?
Her finger. I'm just walking past and she just pokes my butthole. I'm like, don't do that.
No, I
At
have
all.
one question with all the girls. Why do all the girls want to finger our buttholes? Like every
I
girl
don't
I've ever
know.
Oh, my
dated-
wife does not want to.
My wife never did that either. Yeah.
She's like,
It was all hairy.
my
gross.
wife's like, I've heard the shit that comes out of that ass. No pun intended.
Yeah, no, thank
I'm
you.
not putting a finger up there. I like my nails too much.
Mine's the same way. I could like if I wanted her to do that, she wouldn't do it. She'd be like, no, dude, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to
Definitely not.
get your own shit.
And I just can't like do it. I could not. I don't want anything under my asshole like ever.
I agree,
Not
100%.
happening. Like I don't do it.
I
don't
feel
do
like you
butt
definitely
sex.
Yeah,
No,
same.
my
Same.
ex she used to call it the itsy bitsy spider, and I used to
hell
fucking
no.
slap my hand away. I literally had to slap her hand away constantly.
Itsy bitsy spider. Huh?
Yeah, she's like itsy bitsy spider. I'm like, get the fuck
Went
away
up the
from me.
colon spout.
Itsy bitsy spider.
That's crazy.
That's a good
Leave me
one.
alone.
Oh my god.
I lost it now because of you.
That's so funny.
But dude, dating now has got to be fucking insane. Like you just
horrible.
don't see like.
There's
But then again, we talked about it before. I think both women and men have like these unreasonable expectations. You ever watch that Whatever podcast?
Yeah,
where,
dude.
Where that
100%.
woman's like 500 pounds and breathing like,
I'm a 10.
and she's like,
I know what you're talking about.
You better be a
Go to the
millionaire.
destroyer.
God.
Better be a millionaire,
Yeah.
a billionaire, and I'm like, I would pay $1 million to fucking bury you in a hole so that the rest of the world could avoid you.
The thing is women want to go after the top like 5% of dudes, right?
alpha,
They
the
want
dog.
they want like guy that makes money, that's attractive, and all the shit. And 6
Gotta
foot,
work
6 figures,
out,
six,
have a
six
great
pack.
job, have his own house.
Yeah, 6 foot, 6 figures, 6 pack. That's what they want, right?
That's good.
I never heard of that one before.
Yeah,
That's
so
pretty good.
that's what most women go after. That's like 5% of dudes.
Dude, the
so,
4 6s, we could make a fucking shirt.
Yeah,
That'd be a good shirt.
6 foot, 6 figures, 6
foot-
pack.
Yeah, I
So-
like it. 6 fingers. What?
6 fingers. in the butthole.
Not
in the
again,
butthole.
damn it.
Yeah. 6 finger, yeah. Old 6 finger there, yeah.
Dude, that's a great fucking shirt, dude.
No, but so,
That's an awesome shirt, man.
so they
Where
all
did
want to
you get that?
compete for
6
these
fingers.
for like the top dudes, but then they don't want to give anybody that's actually on their level time of day. And the problem is these dudes will fuck them, but they will never date them.
Right.
Like you can fuck above your level, but you will never date that and that's just how it works for women. So they have these like they'll get with like a basketball player, like, oh, he's great, but he's not gonna be faithful. So
Right, yeah.
don't expect it, So
funny.
yeah. And then men, they're just fucking bitches now, dude. I really can't say that. I
Well, a lot of
messed
these
it up.
guys are not men.
Dude, they're just like they're pushovers. They don't know. And women don't want a guy that's like that is a yes man. They don't want it. They might
until
tell
they're
you
married,
that, but
until they're married.
Yeah,
Yeah, when you've been married for a couple of years, then they want to. Then it's like, well, hold on a second.
but they won't respect you. I feel like if you're always getting pushed over. And I don't know how you are with your wife, but I usually try to give my wife everything she wants. But there's times when I got to be like, no, dude, we're not doing this, and we might argue over it. But at the end of the day, if I put my foot down, she respects it, and then I think that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like if you can't, as a man in a relationship, you have to be the head of the household. Obviously you want to. Give your wife every opportunity that you can and make her life easy and fun and buy her stuff that she wants or whatever. But at the end of the day, like if it's not good for the family, it has to be respected, and that's a big deal. That's like same thing with my son when he was like, oh, I don't want this girl because I don't want to beg her to do this or whatever. And put his foot down. He's like, I really want you to come to church with me. She kind of gave him some shit. She's like, all right, see you later. You know.
Well, and that's another thing too. We gotta have like that independence in a relationship. Like you've gotta have like, for me, like nothing ever bothers me because I could lose every friend I have in the world and I'll just go find another hobby and then I'll make new friends with that hobby and I'll do something else or whatever. But like, if you don't have that independence, like, hey, look, if you want to go to your families and do all this all day and I don't want to, like, you can still go. Like, it's not like we have to not go because I don't want to go do that. Like, I'm going to go do something else. Just like if I want to go spend all day out in the fucking woods or whatever at 5 in the morning and it's fucking 20 degrees outside, like, you're probably going to say, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to sit there and throw, you know, a bitch about it. Like, just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you got to have that independence in order to keep
that's
that
kind of like
happy.
because I'm like super active all the time. Sometimes my girlfriend doesn't want to do all that stuff, so I'm like, that's cool. We don't have to spend every waking moment together. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my activities. You can come and join if you like. You don't have to.
There's a lot of couples out there that don't have an identity outside the relationship, which is a huge problem.
You can't every waking moment together. You start adapting each other's things, and then you're just like, I don't know. It loses a lot of flavor. I feel like when you spend nonstop moments together.
I have 2 friends. I'm not. Well, let's say 4 friends. 2 different groups of they're married they're married. They've been with each other for what 15 years of their life. They do everything together, and I mean everything. They eat. They do the same hobbies together. They don't have their own separate lives for themselves. They literally adapted everything to themselves with each other, and I'm like, that's not living. You guys are literally not. You don't have your own life. You don't do your own things. You don't have your own hobbies. You don't have your own aspirations. You guys do whatever he does, she'll do. Whatever she does, he does. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Evan, I
think
need
that
you to
loses
do
a
me
lot
a
of
favor.
flair.
Before we continue, I need you to spell aspirations.
Oh, fuck off. You motherfucker.
You just hold up a sign and make him read it out loud. Hold that same word he just said. And just see if he
let me
actually
look
knows
up
what
the
it says.
spelling of it because I am just fucking.
How are you gonna look that up?
Oh wait, I can see him type it.
How do
Wait.
how do you spell aspirations?
Let's see what it says.
He's like ASS.
Aspire.
Aspirations.
Aspirations.
No. We do it the easy way. I just
can't.
I love it. Hey,
Aspirations.
for those who are listening for the first time,
There we
Evan's
go.
dyslexic.
Yes, it worked.
Every once in a while,
The
you
first
just
one was
gotta.
He just voice
asparagus.
searched it.
The first one was asparagus foods. He's like, there it is. I'm like, that's not aspirations, buddy. That's asparagus.
Oh my
Can we get Evan a shirt that just says I can't read?
I have
Just
one.
that guys' night. I can't read.
You should go to the gifted school for kids who can read really, really good.
Oh shit! All right, well, let's get on one of these topics that we were gonna bring up. How about TikTok?
TikTok. Oh god.
Oh, you're excited about that?
I
Dude,
just found out that if you deleted TikTok, you can't re-download it.
Yeah, the Apple and Google stores are not allowing, or was it
But
Apple, Google Play or whatever?
Yeah,
They
but if
won't
you
let
had it
re-download
and then you go back on, it works.
Dude, it was so funny because last night we were at the bar. It was Brian's birthday, and we're a bunch of us out there, and we were at the piano bar. I was having a good time, but
Love that.
I heard somebody's. I was like, it's 11:57. I wonder if TikTok's gonna go off at like midnight. Logged in at 12:01 or whatever. Fucking gone. TikTok has been. You can't. I'm like, what the fuck? No shit. So then, like within 5 minutes, you just saw everybody like
Yeah.
looking at
Oh,
their
yeah.
phones,
Posting
like
it
what the heck
everywhere.
is going on? And I didn't think it was actually gonna happen. And when it happened, I was like, whoa. And then my wife and I are eating lunch today. It's like 3:00, and she's like, "Well, TikTok's back on." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
So for all those people that hated President Donald Trump, that was on TikTok, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, here's the thing. This is one I'm not sure about. So a lot of people, like, it was like when they passed the bill to ban it, it was a bipartisan pass. Like, everybody agreed that they didn't want TikTok, right? So it was a really easy bill to pass. Republicans, Democrats together both said this. It's scary because of censorship. Like, you don't want bad shit happens when you start censoring what you're allowed to tell people. You know what I mean? You start having websites that you're not allowed to go on and stuff like that. Like, that's shit that China does. The other thing is if what they're saying is true, where China's like getting information about us from it, then I also don't want it. So
they already have all the information.
Yeah. So here's the downside. Like that's an excuse. Like we need to get like guys' night conspiracy hats.
I love those.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But like, all right. So first of all, when it comes to your data and your information, I worked for an organization. I work for a company now that sells your data and information. and for years I worked for companies that acquired it. I can get any piece of information I want for you. Like I can actually, let's say I run an oil service department. I can actually track how often you go to local service shops, which one you spend the most time at, meaning that's where you typically go, scan your credit card statements, and actually figure out if you've spent money there. And then I can target you on Facebook, on Instagram, as many times as I want to get you to come service with me after that. So all that information is out there and it's for sale to everybody. So when they say that China's, they're banning TikTok because of China, like, okay, well, then are you going to prevent the sale of data when it comes to Google, who tracks every living aspect of your life? Facebook, Instagram. No, data's the way of the world. And eventually, those who figure out how to sell that data to AI are going to really conquer everything. I think that more of the TikTok ban actually comes from the fact that where do you see, when you hear something happens in the world, where do you get most of what, like, boots on ground information at?
It's 100%. There's a great on Rogan's podcast. He had Adam Curry, and for those who don't know or remember who he was VJ from MTV back when they used to play videos and shit.
I love MTV.
He's also
TRL, baby.
He's technically the first podcaster ever. Like he's the podfather of all of this. But he went on Rogan, I think about 15, 16 months ago, and he was talking about this, and he called it back then, even before they got this passed. He said, this has nothing to do with them stealing our data and everything, which is entirely possible, but, they have fucking satellites up there that can track our movement.
Drones the size of Escalades hovering over New Jersey, apparently.
They have all of that. But so what he outlined in this, and it's you can search it. There's a 5-minute video available on it just for that. But he specifically talks about it. Like the real problem here is that they're fucking better. They're just better at. Wait, was that the first cuss word?
No, I've cussed like 8 times.
Yeah, I've definitely thrown quite a few.
Sure it wasn't me. But yeah, they're better at collecting and curating the data than all the others. So this was like a competitive thing against Silicon Valley because Google's business, which is based on search, and this is exactly what you're talking about, is that you have this, top tier elite business that's on our soil here that's just getting fucking clobbered by TikTok because we're about to take a trip and we're like, okay, well, where are we going to go find dancing in this town that we travel to and whatever? Go right to TikTok because I want boots level. I want to
see it.
I want to see it.
I don't want to see I don't want to see a list of the businesses with some BS pictures.
Yeah, they have actual reviews.
Who paid for it to get there.
Right. Yeah. I want to see, there's people actually doing what I want to do at this place or whatever.
I feel like one of the bigger things about TikTok too is like, there's a lot of people with information they probably shouldn't have, and they can freely upload it on there, which is probably there's something they're trying to stop.
So that's where it gets to the fact where you talk about, you want to get boots on ground. Like when everything was happening in East Palestine here with that train wreck, last summer or the summer before, my wife's getting all the information on there. And it's not even so, first of all, that takes money away from the news stations, takes people and viewers away from the news stations, which then takes money out of the advertising or out of the pharma, because pharma's doing 80% of their advertising. 80% of the advertising on TV is big pharma.
They can't regulate what the spin on it is either. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. You just have regular people going down there and throwing whatever. And
actual information. Yeah.
And what it did, and it's funny because, get back to now that Trump's like, hey, we're not going to ban this. He's like, he said it the other day. He's like, at first I wasn't big on TikTok, but I think it helped me win. And the reason it helped him win is because it's where people go to get information. And let's just face it, TikTok's the best thing out there. Like you could look at.
I think Twitter's really good too.
Well, Twitter's great. Twitter's great for information if you're a reader. You got to read all the data.
That's true. But if you're like Evan over here, you can't.
But I don't use
read
TikTok.
I
I never liked using TikTok because every time the algorithms are so good sometimes. Like I follow sports and video games. All it comes up with sports and video games. But again,
gay dudes.
Gay dudes. No.
Well, a lot of people are saying that like our amendment right is ruined if they take away TikTok, which they're kind of correct because it's freedom of speech.
What is
amendment right?
Okay, so let's talk about that for a little bit.
That's
here.
like the main thing I see everywhere.
What does the First Amendment give you in terms of protection? What does that have anything to do with TikTok or anything?
I don't really know. I'd say that a lot of people are saying that's like the number one thing that's
freedom of speech,
wrong
right?
with
And
it.
then isn't freedom of press also in there?
It's and freedom of religion and all of these things, right?
But I thought it was
So-
like freedom to a point of like it can't be like if it starts a riot or like some kind of like
Yeah, there's
something like
there's
that, you can't-
there's no indemnification for any sort of personal liability. And the other thing is that the First Amendment doesn't mean that you can go anywhere you want and say and do whatever you want. It gives you a protection that you can say and do all these things, but the government can't come to you and say, "Oh, hey, you're talking shit about the government.
We're gonna
so
lock
you're
you up."
going to prison now."
Yeah.
No Gestapo.
Right. That's and same thing. You can practice whatever religion you want to. We can't put you in prison over it. That has nothing to do with protecting your right to be able to go on Facebook and type and send anything. So that's this weird sort of like.
Well, it's an argument to it, right? Because if you look at it as a sense of, well, they're just taking that away because they don't want me to see stuff, hear stuff, and they don't have the control over the information fluid. The reason information field, I think the reason that it's a First Amendment aspect is because they're trying to take away and mitigate and control things that have an open platform where you or me or a doctor or a lawyer or the president can go on there and speak unfiltered and say whatever we want, versus CNN is going to be primarily left-winged data points and advertising that is going to be the same thing no matter what. They're not going to consider other points of thought, right? So when they say freedom of speech, I don't think it's a sense of like, they're taking away my right to talk now. Well, no, they're just taking away the one piece of software that allowed you to kind of do it on a different level.
You still can broadcast your opinion on several other platforms.
Correct.
like Instagram Reels.
But they look at it more in the sense of like it's freedom of speech because they're just trying to control an area where they can't control.
So what it comes down to, even with freedom of speech, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, right? Because freedom of speech gives you the freedom to say whatever you want, but it doesn't have to be true. So a lot of times, like you can broadcast something or advertise something, and it's tough because people will believe you, even though maybe it's not true. So it could be a really bad thing. You know what I mean?
But that's always the case.
Yeah, so you just look up whatever you want. Honestly.
For sure. It's your responsibility as a human being to like
Fact
do
check.
your due diligence and figure out what is true and what is not. Or they say it in such a slant. They use like a really like yellow journalism's been going on since forever, since the 20s or whatever, where they put these positive spins on things that are really bad or whatever to make people think that it's great. But on the other end of things, you don't want the censorship to where, I can't, like you're in Canada, dude, and people in Canada can get thrown in jail for speaking out against transgender people, you know what I mean? Or against whatever, like look at Jordan Peterson. He got his psychology license revoked because he's like, I don't subscribe to that stuff, and they can do that. And that's really messed up.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like, okay, if you go too far one way or too far the other way, you have an issue,
Well, yeah, you look at like 4chan and stuff like that. Like, okay, there's some things that have to. I wouldn't say they have to be limited in the sense of speech. They just have to be. What's the way? I wouldn't say limit. They just have to be. I'm losing a train of thought. You don't want to say controlled. You don't want to say limited. You just want to say like they have to
regulated.
They have to be like there has to be like I like community notes in Twitter, for instance. There's multiple. Like when you see something, if there's anything against it, it's right underneath it. So it immediately takes you into a field of like, hey, be careful listening to this because
It's got to be moderated.
Yes, moderated. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. And to those who are listening, like they're gonna be like, well, that's control of spirit. It's not like you. If you have open and unlimited data and information out there from unlimited and unqualified sources, you have unlimited people watching that, meaning an 8-year-old can see something, a 12-year-old can see something. And unfortunately, if there's no moderation and there's no protection to those things, it causes an issue. Where TikTok comes in, though, is an algorithm is based off of all the stuff that you're obviously watching. Like, so when you get into an interesting aspect, like it's great that you can follow up other videos, other people that are watching the same thing, and it gives you unlimited information. It doesn't give you just one-sided information. If you're interested in the elections, if you're interested in the presidential race, like it's not just feeding you Trump information. Even if you have a very pro-Trump act, like I still got a ton of stuff that was there, and it gave me multiple data points to look at. And I think that's something that TikTok does extremely well. And I think you're right. I think there's a threatening nature to the other competitors that are here in the United States. Like, who's watching Instagram Reels over TikTok?
Yeah, I used to watch.
I do.
I actually don't.
Well,
Have
yeah, no,
I'm
aware,
actually
'cause
really surprised that you don't have TikTok. I feel like there's a different reason for it.
There's 3 reasons I don't have TikTok.
Oh,
First
three
reason,
of
the first reason is our work. Our work said we cannot have TikTok on our personal phones at all because for some reason it steals data, steals our face recognition or something. So because we use our company phones, facial recognition software on our.
But your company phone and your personal phone are two.
Yeah, but if they use your personal phone to steal your face, they can use it towards your work phone.
Yeah, this is something more companies are doing at a corporate level
Yeah.
as they're controlling what you do on personal and work, because there's really not a lot of ways that you can divide it, because technically, like, what they're doing is they're handing you an iPhone, for instance, and you're connecting it to your own iPhone or your own
That's fair.
Mac account or whatever.
I don't like
iCloud
that.
account?
I don't like that companies can tell you have to do this in your personal life. Like that's an issue for me, I think.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same point in time, it's a free
Well,
workplace.
I
Like,
feel
you
the
can
same
go
way-
and work anywhere you
Yeah, but
want.
Because they used to
All the
they did the same thing about like the vaccines. They're like, if you don't get vaccinated, then we're gonna fire you.
Yeah, that's a
and
little
I'm
bit-
like, I don't
that's a
I
little
don't
bit
want that.
different.
But I feel like TikTok's not the only app that uses your face. Like, there's 1,000 other apps you can use.
No, but
Nobody-
but my work won't allow. I mean, my work is so separated. I mean, I can't even integrate my Outlook calendar with my Mac calendar because they refuse to let that cross over. Like, so there's a lot of things. Anyhow, so work kept you. That's a
Yeah, work-
I think I was like, there's 3 reasons. One, my work won't let me have it. Well,
And the second
okay,
was,
so there's the real reason.
Second of, I just heard bad reviews when they first came out with it, and saying it was just nonsense of a platform. It's just like it's another upgraded version of Instagram, practically.
Dude, Instagram chased TikTok.
But well, and
Like,
throughout-
Reels became a thing because of TikTok. Like, they
Everything-
just
I
wanted
agree.
to get some of their customers back.
Well, and the thing is too is like we've seen this over time, right? So first everybody had fucking Zanga, right? And then you had like
Hold on a second.
MySpace.
I never had
Zanga.
fucking
No,
Zanga.
You didn't have a Zanga, dude?
You mean
Oh.
Jenga? That thing with the wood blocks?
No,
You pulled a
dude.
Jenga?
No, it was right before MySpace. They had a thing called Zanga. That was like the original.
I think lasted like 2
Is
weeks.
MySpace even
It was
open?
great,
Let me
dude.
try.
You had to actually manually input your code so you could have like a background on your page and stuff. It was crazy. Anyways, so then they went to MySpace.
Dave
right?
and I are older than everybody at the table. I've never heard of fucking Zanga,
never
but
heard of it.
I did have
Google
MySpace.
it.
though.
MySpace was the next
Hold
one.
on, hold on. MySpace is still up and running.
Yeah, and you could have your
What?
Yeah.
Actually, what was before MySpace was GeoCities pages.
Oh, I didn't have that.
I didn't have that. I don't know about that. I was a Zanga guy. Anyway, so then they had MySpace, right? We were top 8 and all that, and then everybody went to Facebook. Yeah, and we could have a whole conversation on that.
So it's so funny because I remember Facebook. I was like, I just got out of the army, and I had to use my friend's college email to get a Facebook page because originally it was only for college students.
Yeah.
And that's I was like,
Perfect.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking
So then they went to Facebook, and then it went to Instagram, and then now it's to TikTok, and it's always a cycle of new, like every new generation of kid, they don't want their dad's platform of whatever they use. So you're gonna have upgraded stuff, and Twitter got worked in there.
Did
somewhere.
you miss something before TikTok though?
What, Instagram? I said.
Yeah, no, whatchamacallit, Vine.
Fine.
No. Before it was TikTok. Do you know what it was originally called?
What TikTok was originally called?
TikTok was something else.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't believe you.
100%. Gosh, I just
Oh no, here we go again.
hold on. I
Google it.
Well, the parent company is called ByteDance, and that's what it's still called. That Chinese.
It started with an
version
M. Musically. There it is.
Musically.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't remember
so
that.
musically, because actually Nina, her 60,000 followers all came from music.
She got 60,000 followers.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ.
If she's upstairs when we get done with this, I'll show you the video that her and
Well,
I created.
it
That
just went
got us-
viral?
Yeah, it was the stupidest video on earth, but literally, I can't hear. What you guys talk about something else? Let me see if I can find it.
That's
Well, Evan,
insane.
you gave us the first 2 reasons why I know TikTok. So work bans it. Number 2 was, what was it? No porn?
No.
I forgot. What was the other?
The second one was it was just another upgraded version of Instagram. So I really didn't feel like it was at the time. I didn't feel like it was going to take off that well. So I just never kept following it at the time. And then the last reason was it never intrigued me because all the people that I know that were really popular on like TikTok were not people I would ever want to be influenced by.
I see.
They say that TikTok is the easiest one to go viral on. Like
Yes,
if you're going to go
yes.
viral on one of them. So like
It's really
true.
not though. Hold on, we'll get into it. Here, you guys. I'm gonna show you guys this video. See if
Oh
you,
God, let's see it. Oh,
it's a gym video too.
hold on a second.
oh my Lord.
Is that you in it?
I think they removed the sound.
No, bottom right, you see the mute button?
Yeah, the mute button
Right there.
Yep.
Click that.
That is funny.
Wow.
Oh, the sound isn't available.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they took the
so
music
do you
out.
guys remember the sound that was like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And we made this video where I pretended that I couldn't move something, and then she would and then it'd be like
That's funny.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh,
Dude,
that's cringe.
so cringe.
Oh
So
my
cringe.
God.
And
So
that's all it took.
cringe.
That's
So
all it
cringe,
took.
But look at this.
All these like
8 million
informative things. I'm sure it doesn't hurt that she's not ugly. You know what I
That one's
mean?
got sound.
Like-
8 million views, 8.7 million.
8.7 million views.
Dude,
Get the hell out of
that's
here.
crazy.
So she's only got 43,000 followers.
Oh, she's gone down, dude.
800,000.
It's going down, dude. She's being followed, bro.
760,000 likes though.
That's crazy.
I think she has it on. Well, I think she has it on private now.
She's got another couple there. It's like 12K and stuff like that. or
Oh
whatever.
yeah. 12, 15, 16.
Yeah.
If she didn't have it so that she was private, she'd probably have
Yeah.
100, 200,000.
Yeah,
I told
no.
her, I was like, you should be getting free clippers for the barber shop on
Yeah,
this
dude.
thing.
She got no picture up there either. Nothing. Like,
No.
man.
See, no, Maria, our mutual friend, has like 168,000
Yeah,
followers.
yeah, she
Did you
Yeah.
see? Did you see the girl from Rise, the blonde chick, or whatever?
Yeah.
She's a little bit older.
Tanya?
No. The girl.
Don't sugarcoat it, Nick. Tell us how you really
No,
feel.
I was gonna say this is stupid. Anyways, so no, there's a blonde girl. She's like maybe she's probably about your age. So and
80?
about 80, yeah.
that's
And she's got like a daughter or whatever. But anyway, she goes on there. She listens to music and drinks beer, and like goes live. And people like pay her as she's singing to the music and chatting with people or whatever. She's got like whatever. Like 50K followers or whatever, and just by doing that, yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong on the number of followers.
I
But
mean,
she's super
either,
viral.
either way, she's getting paid.
Yeah.
I don't know who this is, but that's fucking crazy. dude.
I'll find out.
Oh,
I'll
pull-
look for it. Yeah,
pull it
continue.
up.
I'll tell you.
Continue. So yeah, obviously Trump made it happen though, right? He comes out and he tells everybody, "Hey, I'm going to get this worked out." What do you think's going to happen? Do you guys have any ideas? Do you think Elon's going to buy it?
That'd be wild. I've heard that Mr. Beast
Yeah,
is trying
Mr.
to buy
Beast
it.
tried to
from what
buy
I've
it.
heard. I think he's trying to buy it too. But that's how much do you think TikTok cost? I want to see
Billion.
at least 3 billion. At least.
Wait, did you say 3 billion?
At least 3 billion.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think
that wouldn't
it's
even
gonna-
be the down payment.
I think it's going to be north of 60 to 70 billion dollars.
Really?
It's going to be probably almost double of what Twitter is.
Really?
Yeah, because you've
Oh,
got.
that's fair. Actually, yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, I'm looking it up right now too. So give me a second.
Yeah, what is the Google AI like? Just valuation of it?
That, you want to
it'll
know
come
right
up
now?
With a figure.
Yeah, it came up with a figure right now.
$100 billion.
Yeah, north of 100
You don't
billion.
think? I don't think
Yeah.
Mr. Beast has that money.
What's that?
There's no way Mr. Beast has that money.
Well, nobody has that
Well,
in cash. But
if you watched Mr. Beast, though, he also said like, I'm working with other billionaires
Yes.
in order to come up with this. And nobody has $200 billion in cash. They have assets and they could leverage. And they
Yeah,
could like
assets.
Elon didn't pay cash for Twitter. He took out loans against it because it'd be dumb to
And Bitcoins could help too. I'm pretty sure.
Get
I think
the
that
hell
that
out of
would
here.
work, too.
get the hell out of here.
I'm just looking at like what's worth and what it's and like what it can be going up in the next 5 years. 200 billion.
I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah, well, because here's the thing: if it doesn't, they just tried to kill it, which is only going to make it stronger.
Yeah, make it more
Yeah.
popular.
And they got
And-
all the ad revenue from it too. Like multiple companies just selling things on there.
Again, so Will alluded to it earlier. The success of his company, it doesn't even have to do with ads. It has to do with the propagation of data and everything. You are the product when you're. That's the real product is you or
Correct.
us, let's say. Like that's what's being sold. Like the ad revenue is definitely part of it. It's actually one of the smallest parts of it.
Really?
Really.
Yeah, data is everything, dude.
Yeah.
Because you have to think like, I don't know. Let's say you're a new company and you're looking for people between the ages of 19 and 22 that like to play video games, that are semi-athletic, that play sports, that have a single family home, that their dad died in a car or died in, when they were a teenager, that they've dabbled in drugs, like TikTok could be like, boom, here's 25,000 users right now. You can market directly to them and hit every single aspect of that.
Yeah.
Nobody, and they have more data than everything. And here's the other thing. This is something, so like people talk about data and they're like, oh, Google has more data than everybody. Google doesn't keep you staring at your phone for 4 hours a day.
No.
That's true.
And TikTok has captured the world. Like,
Correct.
especially teenagers, like they get all their information off of there. Most of those kids are watching that for 3-4 hours a day. Shoot, there's times I get up and go to the gym, and like I need to wait for like 15 minutes, or I'm before I go in because I'm waiting for my pre-workout to kick in or whatever. And then before I know it, I've been in my truck for 40 minutes watching TikTok videos, and I'm like, what are you doing? You just wasted 40 minutes of your life you can't get back. But it knows that perfect algorithm to keep you engaged, to keep you watching. And then it throws in that little one-off every once in a while, and then it sends you down another rabbit hole. And it's like, man, they have just aced it.
The one that's been getting me the most. Have you seen those Brook and Jubal radio show things? Have you heard of that?
No.
There's a radio show, an old one. It's like 4 years old. It's Brook and Jubal, 42 nights out, something like that,
Holy
right?
shit.
And
You know what that
they recently aren't a thing anymore.
Let me.
But they would do something called the second
Funny
date
story.
update.
Let's see.
I just saw that response.
Funny story.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Nick. Let's see that. Let's see it.
No, it's her name is Christy Swan.
Do I know her?
Swain Swan. I don't know how to say her last name. She goes to Rise. I've talked to her a couple times. She actually dated my friend Todd. You know who Todd Casper is?
Yeah.
She dated Todd for a little while, or whatever. That's how I've met her a few times. But yeah, dude, she's got like 2.6 million on this
Jesus.
one. Her followers are 443,000. So I was almost on the money actually with how many followers.
Dude, that's
she has.
fucking insane.
But for her thing, she's got a bunch that are like, 539K views, and like a low amount is like 10,000 for her. So, most of her videos are there. And she just gets on here, dude. She'll drink beer and make memes and go live, or make reels and go live or whatever. And, whatever. She's kind of cute, older chick or whatever. So
She just got some random stuff on there. Like there was because she's in my contacts. So like, and you have, how to automatically send somebody up, and it was like her dressed as like a Catwoman.
yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
That was
that one went pretty viral too.
I'm
I think,
like, what the heck is this chick doing? Like,
Yeah.
she has lost it. But I mean, obviously,
She's making money
got
doing
like
it.
a fucking I mean, she's got to be making bank too with
Yeah.
those kind of followers.
I think she made good money before, but I was talking to her a little bit about it, and I'd have to go back and look because it was a while ago. But she had left her job, and she was doing that full time for a minute, and then she was able to. I think she maybe got a different job or whatever. I don't know, but
OnlyFans.
But dude, yeah, but seriously, dude. I mean, if you were that type of person to do that, like, I'm sure if you have that type of following, bro, you're that's how you get like the girls that make like 70K a month on OnlyFans. It's because they started on TikTok, they generate a huge following on there, and then they're like, hey, buy my OnlyFans subscription and whatever. So they can charge a lot per head. But if 500,000 people are on her thing, if 10% buy,
How much per head?
yeah, how much per head? That's weird. But let's just say maybe 1 in 20 followers buy, right? So,
I mean, even if 1 in 100, you're talking about
I mean,
440,000
they all did
followers.
a dollar a month over 500K a month.
yeah, if you had
A dollar a month from each of them. I mean,
well, I
come
mean,
on.
it's you're probably gonna be more than $1 too, but like
That's what I'm saying. Just break it down that way. Is all you need.
Like I'm sure there's plenty of people on there that would pay to see her naked or whatever, and so you just pay whatever. You have them pay $20 a month for your OnlyFans or whatever. Post a couple topless photos or something like that. All of a sudden, you made $1 million over a 6 month
Dude,
period.
it's crazy. We were talking about that last time. Some of the, I mean, not to get off topic of TikTok, but
It's all
when it comes
related.
to
Yeah.
OnlyFans, like you hear what some of those women are making, and I was like, how is that a thing? Porn is free.
Dude, I know, dude. I could
Why
never
are
pay.
people paying money to get on OnlyFans? Last time my wife asked me, have you ever been on OnlyFans? I'm like, no. Why the fuck would I go on OnlyFans?
Dude, what if look, I've never bought anything on OnlyFans, but like, what if it was like a high school crush and you're like, man, I always want to see that chick naked. Like, that'd be like maybe the only time I'm like, that's worth $10 to me or something.
Yeah, I guess it.
But that would
maybe
be-
that. Yeah, but at the same point in time, like
You'd probably be disappointed too. She's like 40 and have 6 kids now. Like, all right, roll them back up.
Someone for everyone.
Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't imagine paying. I don't think there's a celebrity out there I'd pay to see. I just, whatever. It's free. You can find it for free.
But
online.
I was trying to say, like, when you're saying going down that rabbit hole, I found one thing that was super interesting. There's like this old radio show company called Brook and Jubal. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but they had this segment called the Second Date Update, and it's the most interesting thing I've ever heard. And it's like if you went on a date with a girl and you liked her, and like 2 weeks passes by, she has not called you at all. You email them, and they get a hold of her.
I actually have saw this on I think Instagram or something.
Yeah, and it's like the most interesting stories ever. And they recently came back because of TikTok, because people were like finding these old clips of them 4 or 5 years ago, and they had a podcast that started up like last year because the radio station died, and they started getting fans all over again because people were finding these old clips and uploading it on YouTube, on TikTok, and then they did it so well they would like use half of it enough to drag you in so you can go to their account, find the next video, and just to keep watching.
Keep watching them.
But it's like the most ridiculous stories because the guy that they went on the date with would be on the line on mute. And they would just go off about how the date went and how they think about it. Like, oh yeah, by the way, he's on the other line. I was like, no way. It's like the craziest.
Awesome.
Like one lady went on a date with him, and it turns out they were like second cousins.
oh.
And it was insane. I was like, there's no way this is real.
They had one too. I heard that was like the dude was like it was not a date to him, and it was a date to her, and he's like, that was a date, and she's like, yeah. She's like, you kissed me. He's like, it was like not a kiss, and it wasn't good.
Oh yeah,
and
he's like, you wanted to kiss.
He's like,
you wanted to kiss me.
She's like, oh, we were having an intimate whatever. He's like, no, we
He's
were
like,
not.
you followed me
know?
to the bar. Yeah, it's like I told you I'd be here. I didn't invite
that
you
was
to
a good
go.
one. The other one that's fun to watch too on there that I get reeled into of like guilty pleasures or whatever is you ever watch the prison ones where they send out like the stuff from prison where they're like, hi, my name's Joe, I'm locked up in Indiana State Penitentiary, I'm looking for a girl, blah blah. Dude, they're
I've
my
seen
God,
those.
dude.
I've seen
funny,
those.
bro.
Girl.
I've
So,
seen
bro,
I've seen the girl versions of those.
Dude, the girl ones are
Oh,
hilarious. Yeah, very funny. And some of them are hot. You're like, oh man.
What did you
Maybe
look
I
at?
can fix her.
How many people did she kill?
Yeah.
Like, was it like
She'll go to jail for you, dude. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a keeper.
That's a ride or die.
Yeah, ride or die.
all right? Top 10 in 2024. Trisha Paytas, whoever that is, 12 million.
What is this for OnlyFans?
Yeah, this is
Oh my
OnlyFans.
god.
In a year? In a year?
Oh, I missed
It
number
was
9.
for 2024.
This is last year. Pia Mia, whatever the fuck
Pia Mia.
that is. Looks like she's got an Instagram, but
16 million.
Amber Rose.
Really, Amber Rose? Isn't that the girl that like tried to get like destroy Johnny Depp or whatever?
No,
that's Amber Heard.
Yeah,
Oh, Amber
Heard.
Heard. Sorry.
Amber Rose is the one that's in Orange is the New Black.
Ah, gotcha.
Tyga, 32 million.
No way.
Yeah. I argue with my wife about her all the time. I think she's ugly.
Throwing hunnets.
Wow.
Hunnets.
Bella Delphine is still a thing.
34 million.
I don't know who that is.
Bella Thorne.
Bella Thorne. Yeah.
37 million.
You hear that name on TikTok all the
Cardi
time.
B, 47 million.
On OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
she's
is just
doing full on.
OnlyFans.
Iggy
Yeah.
Azalea has an OnlyFans?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She
Why
does-
do they have these?
Oh, extra money.
Because
Makes
it's
9.2
it's a good
million
investment.
a month on the
Yeah.
platform.
That's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah, why do
a
they
month.
have these? Because she's making 48 million at a
It's
record
like,
deal.
but why do you
isn't
have to
taking
do
any
that?
of it.
On a month
It's
at
like,
a
why do
month.
you
You,
have
you don't
to
know
do
what they're doing on it though.
That's true.
Dude, some of them are making millions. They're just posting bikini photos, dude.
Yeah, foot
That's
fetishes
true.
too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
My wife could sell foot pictures on the
This
internet.
is funny.
It's fine.
Do you know who this is?
Bad Baby.
Oh, Bad Barbie. no,
Barbie?
Baby.
that's Bad Barbie, isn't it? That's the chick that was like the Catch Me Outside. How about
yeah,
that?
Bad
Catch Me
Baby.
Outside.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, she was 10
went,
times different than she did.
She
with
went
him.
from fucking going on. What was that?
Jerry
Dr.
Springer or
Phil.
something like that?
Dr.
Oh,
Phil.
Dr.
yeah.
Phil.
And
Catch
saying,
Me
"Catch
Outside."
me outside."
How about that? Yeah. I say it all the time.
That bitch is making fucking 60 million a year.
Does she speak English now?
No, she
definitely
speaks,
not. Definitely not. And
the
then
hell's-
Black China,
Who
240
the hell is
million.
Black China?
that's the chick from the, isn't she in a band or whatever? Or she's a
I thought
singer?
she's a wrestler.
No,
that's
that's
China.
China.
No, that
China.
was
That's just
China.
regular
She
China.
died.
R.I.P.
She's dead? Oh, well, that's crazy.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Yeah.
China.
So the
all-time
media
great.
reported in 2021 that Black China was making 20 million a month by changing charging her
Rapper.
16 million subscribers, $19.99 a month. She then hinted at Forbes was actually less than that.
American
She
model.
deactivated her account in 2023, making it hard to figure out.
Dude, I mean, look, she's fine or whatever, but she's really not even that attractive. Like that's
Who are you talking about?
Black China.
I don't even know who the fuck she is.
I didn't know either. That's why I
that?
She's
Googled it.
a model.
would you pay
and
to see
actress
that?
and rapper.
Oh God, no.
No, dude.
But the thing is, though, once
see?
again, we're talking. OnlyFans isn't just to show your tits.
I'm good.
OnlyFans isn't just to show yourself naked and have sex on camera, though. I mean,
It's
that's how
not.
most of those people are.
Right?
not.
Evan?
But like,
Really?
she was charging her fans to get their mute. She probably was doing live shows on there or something. Maybe.
No, there's a girl I know that. Did you ever hear of mukbangs?
Mukbangs.
Mukbangs.
They just eat a bunch of freaking
Yeah,
food.
This girl I know makes like I think she
what it
makes
is.
like
Nick, dude,
10
you should
grand a
get on
month.
there and see how
Yeah.
much chicken and rice you could eat
I was
every
thinking
day.
maybe-
Oh, I'm
I was
not good
thinking-
at it.
I was thinking
I
one where
hate eating a lot of food.
I just like make and try different types of meatloaf and see how far I get.
I say we should do one with Evan where we see how many hot dogs we put in his
No,
mouth.
just or we can do one with Evan and see how many books he can read.
You'd have
How many books can Evan read?
we'd have much better success rate if it were Snicker bars.
Oh,
Fuck
and
yeah,
then it's
Kit Kats.
salmon. It's
Taco
just
Bell
like-
tacos, yeah.
How many stickers should I eat before my blood sugar rises and I stab myself with insulin?
We'd kill him, baby.
I don't know if you guys caught it, but Nick was like, "We're gonna see how many hot dogs." I'm gonna make sure that there's a short for this too. Yeah, Evan was literally like,
We both did it. Me and Nick both did it.
Hot dogs.
These glizzies, dude.
No,
The glizzy gobblers out here.
dude, no, but people do sell other things than just nudes on there.
It's
But
true, yeah. Some people do cosplays, just like different cosplays.
dude, that's another thing too. Twitch, that you said, chicks that stream on Twitch. If you're like a mildly attractive female,
And
right?
you're good at video games,
and
like
you don't even have to be
semi-decent.
good. You just have to know how to play the game. If you can go online and play like live stream it, dude, people will buy you subscriptions and watch you play the game. To me, it's so dumb. It's like. When I watch people on Twitch, it's like, okay, I want to learn how to play the game better. These people are like, oh, I want to see this chick do her makeup and dress up with her boobs hanging out and then play the game mediocrely.
this is accurate.
14-year-old kids are borrowing $10 from mom and dad just to watch some hot 16-year-old fucking play.
Jessica Negri plays on there or something.
I have a friend back home, and I've known her since I was in high school. Her name's Kat. I swear to God, this girl looks exactly the same, if not better, when we were in high school. And she started like getting into video games and Twitch and stuff like cosplaying, and she's up there now. Like people are like watching and paying for her stuff, and I'm like, how did you get more attractive? How is that even possible? And now she plays video games, and now she cosplays. I'm like, I mean,
now we know what
yeah,
Danny's
there you
into.
go.
Yeah, Danny's like, shit.
This chick.
No, I'm
So
good.
here's some of the top earners for on Twitch, right? The chick's making like $18K a month, just playing video games, like, and just people watching her. She has over 9 million followers and streams games like Fortnite.
Fortnite.
I don't know what this is,
dude from
Valorant,
Fortnite.
and just chatting, and then
chatting.
So here's this one's making 63K. Yeah, so I mean you can look it up, but
insane.
yeah, it's wild. Yeah, and I mean they're pretty like moderately attractive females. But here's your.
You're gonna be semi cute and
What's
good
this?
at video
This is
games.
like
People are
the-
gonna be interested.
That's all the top 6 streamers or whatever.
God
Twitch
damn,
streamers.
dude.
They're all
I
hot.
think- I'm
Fucking
pretty
6
sure-
million followers, 8 million followers. That's crazy.
I think the
dude.
best streamer out there right now is Kai Cenat. I'm pretty sure he's like one of the main big streamers out there right now.
Yeah,
And all they do is play video games and just stream for hours. But he has like Kevin Hart on his stream, and he has like freaking Drewski on his stream, and like I think Drake was on there once. Like, Nicki Minaj was on there one time.
Oh my god.
And it's just the most wildest things. And they have like sleepovers and they mess with each other while it's the wildest streams ever.
Dude, that's
They're
crazy.
actually hilarious.
I mean, good for that. And look, I don't have anything against people that are creators and they do all this stuff. Like, hey, good for them. They figured
Dude,
out a way to make a lot more money than I make.
If
and
somebody's
I'm
willing
fine
to
with doing it.
pay you to play because you're cute, then go for it, dude.
I think the
for
only
sure.
downfall is like you have to share your life at that point. Like when you become a high level enough streamer, you always are on camera. People are always know what's going with your life, and then it's like your personal life is just gone.
Yeah, but you could disappear.
True.
Like,
That's
I mean,
true.
like most people, if they were like, obviously, if you're somebody like if you consider like
Beast or
Joe, Joe Rogan or Mr. Beast, like it'll take a long time.
Yeah.
But if Mr. Beast stopped making videos today, 5 years, nobody would even talk about
Well,
him.
I think that's just something that happens when you become famous, right? Like, if you're a famous football player, if you're a president, if you're whatever, and you're well known, like, of course, people are going to be involved in your life. I mean, look at Amanda Bynes, dude. People are
Oh my God,
they
I
keep
heard that
posting
name
about her. Dude.
years.
She hasn't been relevant in like 20 years.
Is she
you know what I
bald
mean?
now?
Well,
No, she has a smoking body.
not anymore.
I thought she
What
Britney
happened?
Spears. I thought she went the Britney Spears.
Oh no, I think Hillary Duff. That's what I was thinking. 'Cause
Hillary
they were,
does.
Oh, yeah, Hillary
they were
does.
posting about her too. That was the one I'm
Yeah.
thinking about.
Yeah,
But yeah, Amanda Bynes has a tattoo on her face. And
She
was in a
went crazy.
cult.
I wonder,
damn.
dude. I wonder what
They all are.
I wonder if it had anything to do with that Nickelodeon thing or whatever.
Who knows, dude? A lot of those kids.
That was a
got
wild
fucked up,
scandal.
man.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Did anybody watch that? The Nickelodeon
That's
thing
just
with
wild.
Was it a
Dude.
documentary?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's so good, dude. But all like the Disney or maybe it was Disney or
No,
was it Nickelodeon?
it was Nickelodeon.
Yeah, all the Nickelodeon shows, like the producers were like,
Daniel something.
yeah, they were like preying on all these kids that were on the shows and like sleeping with
Pedoing.
them and
touching
pedoing them,
them,
yeah,
it's like that.
yeah, dude. And a lot of them did it, you know. And one of the ones that was like on the show because there was a show, Salmon Cat. Do you remember that one with
Yeah.
with Ariana Grande?
Grande.
Yeah.
Well, the other girl said that the dude like was really weird with her, and she was like not about it. And then she started getting phased out, and Ariana Grande started doing better. And then she ended up having a crazy career after that. I wonder if
Yeah.
maybe she might have done something in there to facilitate that. But I don't know. It didn't
She
come
wrote a
out.
whole book about it.
She did.
Whole book.
Ariana Grande did.
No,
or-
the other girl.
The other girl
Sam.
did. Yeah,
She
yeah.
wrote an entire book about what happened to her and everything.
Yeah,
It just
dude.
went- It exploded.
Dude, it's crazy to think all that shit that happened out like that to these kids, man.
Dude, I guarantee
And,
you.
and the worst part is the mom and dads. They're
Yeah,
just deal with it.
Well, it's not even just that. The mom and
Money.
dads make a bunch of money off their kids. They like, hey, here's my kid, and they have potential. Do whatever you want. Give me whatever money you can give me, and I'll just let you raise them up in stars. And a lot of them like, and this goes in the conspiracy thing too. A lot of them will like do something to them when they're young and have like some kind of like what's it called? Blackmail on them when they're
Yeah.
younger. So when they start to like, I want to leave this, they're like, no, you don't, because now we have this on you. Type of
Right,
thing.
yeah. Now you're like 18, 19 years old. You're
Yep.
making it big on your own, and like you don't want that to go out there and ruin you.
Yep.
Is that the?
Do you recognize that dude? Yeah, he was like
Is
the
that
producer.
the two brothers? Oh, that's the producer.
He was
Oh,
the
let me see.
producer. He was
Yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah.
Dan Schneider. Yeah, he
Dan
was the one
Schneider,
that
that's
was
his name.
doing all the weird shit to the women. Then there was another one that was a producer.
And he
that
knew about it and let it happen.
but there was
So are these guys in jail now or what?
no.
No.
I thought Dan Schneider was.
I don't think so.
I think he was. I thought he was actually arrested.
I don't know. We should find out. But
Could be wrong, but
David,
I thought he was
do you
the
know?
only one.
but there was another one that with the Drake and Josh show where he was like the dude was like raping I don't actually can't say-
chubbier
edit that
guy.
out. Yeah, it was R wording because YouTube will flag that.
Yeah.
But he was R wording the
Josh,
dude. Yeah.
that's insane.
Well, and
Was
dude,
he really?
think about it, dude. So say you're a little kid, right? And you get put through that, like I wouldn't tell anybody, bro. And so everybody's like, well, why is he saying something now? It's like I would never tell anybody if that
That's
happened to me. You know,
traumatizing. That's insane.
I would be so embarrassed. You know what I mean? There's no way.
The other thing is too, and it's like we talk about, kids don't know what's right and wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
at a certain age, they're like, "This, you're supposed to do
Like
this. You're supposed to make me
they're
happy."
6, they're
Bro.
7, they're 8, and
Especially if you're a kid that you're like your dream, like what's your kid is a dream beyond like the TV shows and stuff. Like that's like as cool as it gets. You know what I mean? That and Little League World Series. That's the best things you could do in life. So you're on this show. You're gonna do whatever you have to do to stay on that
That ain't
show.
what happened, or they
Yeah.
make you think that this is what you have to do.
Correct.
To
Oh,
get
100%.
it.
They probably just tell you that.
You want to
Yeah.
get famous? You have to do this. You have to make us happy. We're gonna make you happy. Like,
yeah,
yo,
that
that's
shit fucking
disgusting.
sucks. Dude.
Yeah, weird
it's,
shit,
It's
dude.
disgusting,
Terrible, man.
and that's
Gross.
But you know what? Shame on parents out there. Like if my kid was going through any of that stuff, like I would be a freaking
Bro.
And you know for sure they knew about it.
Like
Oh,
all those
110%.
all those parents let their kids stay the night with Michael Jackson and stuff, whatever, and sleep in his hotel room. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
yeah,
you know?
dude, never doing
Yeah.
that. I love Michael, but fuck it.
Yeah, I like Michael,
you
too.
You ain't sleeping with my fucking
No,
kids,
dude.
Did you ever see what was that movie that came out last year or the year before? It came out by Angel Studios released it. It was huge.
I love Angel
It was
Studios.
about
Oh,
child
sex
trafficking one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angel Studios.
And that all
fantastic studios.
started. That story started with the dad who like dropped his kid off at the
At the audition.
yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, nope. Like, how does this guy not like see all these red
No, we
flags
stay
everywhere?
We stay here. You don't.
That
Yeah.
company, ever since that movie, blew up.
Yeah,
that
they have their own.
They're a Christian studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they made The Chosen, which is everywhere now.
Dude,
it's,
a lot of-
it's an amazing show.
A lot of movie theaters did not want to play that movie,
Yeah,
even though
it
it's a true
was-
story about stuff that's really happening. You know.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, people don't want to hear that stuff, right?
No.
They want to go into their
you in the
TikTok
blind.
and
They
hear
wanna keep you in
about
the
all
blind.
the good stuff that's going on. And the news isn't ever going to report any of this stuff.
no.
So
Oh,
the
no.
movie was called Sound of Freedom.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sound of Freedom, yeah.
Sound of Freedom.
The Jim Caviezel, he played a real life HSI character. I actually know the original guy. Like he was given this like bullshit detail. Then, so there's more that they didn't tell in the movie.
Right.
But like did some pretty impressive stuff. What are we doing? OnlyFans again? What's
He's live.
Are you live?
Yeah, I'm just going live.
going live? Oh, okay.
See if any of my friends pick it up.
There you go.
Sweet.
So,
No, that movie was. I didn't even get the chance to watch it. I do want to sit down and watch it. Ever since I know Angel Studios is now, they make amazing movies.
You've never watched that movie?
I haven't, but I heard
It's a good
the
movie.
craziest
Oh
things
my God.
about
it's
it.
a great movie.
I would like to sit down and watch it, but
Well-
that studio
well,
makes
that's-
the coolest shows. They make such interesting shows.
Well,
and
there's
movies.
also supposedly a lot of the movie theaters that were playing the movie. They for some reason the movie like shut down or the can't.
Oh yeah, the
reels,
lights turned off. They were like trying to
Tinfoil
stop
hats
things.
on. Tinfoil
And
hats.
Yeah, Tim.
it is true though. Like you can tell, like the government is like, oh, this movie knows way too much. Let's go ahead and try to make all the movie theaters not play it. Like the movie theaters have no reason not to play it other than someone telling them not to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just fucked up that that's out there going on, and like that's not a key focus. Like
It's
it's like,
insane.
and then for a while it was like save the children, hashtag
I mean,
free the children.
Honestly, like think about it. Like we're all bitching about TikTok or whatever, talking about TikTok. That's the headline,
Yeah.
and not like all the kids that are getting trafficked today.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
It's
that's how
wild.
fucked up our priorities are in life.
Yeah, and we got the president to. I mean, great for Trump. Like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna fix this. Whatever. I'm gonna do executive order tomorrow if
Yeah.
I have to. But like, all right, where's the focus? Like,
Bro,
let's close this fucking border. Let's like eliminate some of this
that's
this drugs trafficking that's happening, this child trafficking, these women trafficking, like all this other shit that's going on in the world. That's what we care about, and making money.
All this TikTok stuff, all these stuff, like one way or another, whatever. It's all smokescreen, dude. Everything. This is to keep us occupied, so we're not paying attention to what's really happening.
Distractions.
Yeah, and what's really happening, and the bills that are really getting passed right now with all this, funding that's getting pushed to this or that or the other. And I guarantee you, like before I should look deeper into this, but nothing I can do about it anyway. But anyways, I guarantee you, there's a bunch of bills getting pushed right now by Biden saying that, like, on his way out, and we're all going to be focused on TikTok, so we're not going to pay attention to this shit on the way out. He's going to give a bunch of money to this, that, or the other.
Well, he's-
Or the people are going to know about the bills and say about it on TikTok. You're going to hear all about it. Big chance.
Wait, what?
Well, he's saying that we're going to be distracted by TikTok for all these bills that might be happening on the way of Joe Biden's, like on his way out.
No, I mean
But they might even-
he's done right now. The only thing he could do is pardons up until, but I mean it's essentially over. Like he could do a couple of pardons, but there's nothing else.
We
he's
pardoned
gonna
his
get done.
kid,
Yeah,
Lifetime
yeah,
pardon.
of course. Well,
It's his brother, I think, that's going to be the one that's going to be the first crack in the dam because he's not issued. He has until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning
Yeah.
to pardon
he
anybody
hasn't.
else, and he hasn't pardoned his brother, which that's going to be interesting.
well. So here's the thing, though. Do you not pardon him? Because if you do, it makes you look even more guilty.
Well, it's
But
too,
he doesn't
it's
care at
too
this point,
late
right?
at this point. Like,
Yeah.
so I think we talked about this on a prior pod where Bill Clinton like practically held a news conference specifically to tell Biden, like, don't you dare pardon Hillary because of that exact thing. It just casts this huge
Right.
shadow over
I
all
saw
the
that,
shit
yeah.
we all know anyway. But he specifically has not issued any pardon or anything for his brother, and the DOJ's got a whole list of charges on his brother with all sorts of things, almost everything that Hunter Biden was involved in.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. If Biden's off limits, if his kid's off limits, like who really cares about the
What is-
brother at that point?
Yeah.
What does that mean? I mean,
That's
for the people
why.
that
That's why.
for the person that doesn't know politics, what do you mean by pardon someone?
Part of it means like you can't be put in
Pro-
jail.
Convicted of any
Can't be-
crime.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
like a free
scandalous.
pass.
It's like a free pass for anyone who
Like
commits
get
a
out of jail
crime.
free card type.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's only for the things that specifically you have to mention the thing. So
Okay.
so like the reason why Hillary didn't want to be pardoned or Bill didn't want Hillary to be pardoned is because it makes her look guilty of the thing that you're saying. So if you're saying, hey, we're going to pardon Hillary for the server leak or whatever that she had in her house or whatever,
Right.
cool. Well, don't do that because she didn't really do that or whatever. If she didn't do it, then you don't want to get pardoned for it.
Well,
So is it a
even,
good thing or a
if you
bad
did, it draws up attention. Well, it's a good thing for the person getting pardoned that gets out of,
But it's bad for
gets
the
out
people
of
around her
jail.
and stuff like that.
Depending on who you are, though, like if it's anybody at this table, yeah, we'll fucking all take the pardon because we're nobodies. Like,
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
have-
That's fair.
But if you're Hillary Clinton, like you're still trying to have a life in politics. Like the second you receive that pardon, everybody's gonna write their
It'll
right.
kill-
You're done.
Kill
You're
your
done.
suspicious or
Like
something.
you're done. You're like
Yep,
untouchable.
correct.
Like they all think you did it. They all know you did it. It's kind of assumed that you did it and you got pardoned because you did it and you didn't want to go to jail.
The Clintons aren't going to get convicted of anything anyways. We've tried that. It doesn't work. People just die.
That's why you don't want that pardon because
Yeah.
you're just
They'll-
not gonna go to. You're not gonna be convicted.
Yeah, they're gonna take care of that one themselves.
Yeah, you'll drown in the lake.
Yeah.
So
You'll-
to
you'll have a-
answer your question, Danny, there's a pardon and there's commutation. So commutation would be you're already serving, your sentence for your crime, and then your sentencing is lessened, and then your sentence and your conviction goes away. Pardons, there's usually a specific crime. Like, okay, so on this date at this time, this person did this, and I'm pardoning them from that, and they're done. The thing that's unusual about the Hunter Biden pardon in this case is that Biden just said, okay, so during this time, anything he may have done related to these things, I'm issuing him a pardon. So I bring that up
And I'm
now.
guessing only the president can do that?
Only
it
the
depends.
president.
Well, now it depends because a governor can issue a commutation and a pardon for some state-related crime.
but not federally,
A
right?
president can only issue a pardon for a federal crime.
That's actually insane.
So the thing that's interesting about this, and I think this will, if let's say they bring Hunter on charges, I bet it goes all the way to the Supreme Court and they can argue that, because let's just say during this time they said, okay, well, between this year and Hunter, anything he may have done. Well, you can't just say, oh, well, if you find out later he murdered somebody, then you can't charge him. No, they'll charge him. They'll absolutely
So
charge him.
pardon is just it's not a complete get out of free card because
Pretty
like
close to it.
It's pretty
but
close to
but
it.
it, okay, that's
It
pretty
takes a lot
wild.
of work.
Has there been any like I mean again?
So
I
the
don't,
idea of a pardon or commutation is like Julian Assange. Do you know who that is?
never heard of her. I don't do politics.
All right,
Man.
how about Edward Snowden? No,
I don't do dude.
These
Like
are not
literally,
these are not politics, by the way.
No, so Edward Snowden used to work for the CIA. Julian
politics to me.
Assange. You ever heard of WikiLeaks?
I think so. That one sounds familiar.
So Julian Assange ran WikiLeaks. These two gentlemen did some incredible, amazing things. Julian Assange is really the reason we know about the Clinton emails and the server issues and a bunch of other stuff. And I wish if he would have never been arrested or chased out of the country, we would probably heard a lot more and learned a lot more. And then Edward Snowden's the one who found out that like all of our devices were basically recording us 24/7, and the CIA was using that to funnel that information and capture
too.
stuff on NSA. And they both let the people know that through virtual channels, and were essentially considered to be traitors or and attempted to be prosecuted by the United States, so they fled. So they're in other countries. Snowden's in Russia, I think, still.
That's insane.
Julian Assange, I think he was just freed, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
But that's kind of crazy. Like they almost got arrested for telling the world, like, "Hey, they're watching you."
Yeah, dude, because it's the government.
That's crazy.
Dude, you
So
should look
anyhow,
into the
so-
history of the
so-
stuff that we've covered up, dude. It's crazy.
Like, if you haven't, you don't know about yeah, definitely. But anyhow, so everybody thought that Trump was going to pardon Assange, and he didn't, or Snowden didn't. Nobody thinks Trump, what's his name's going to do it. Biden.
Biden, yeah, because they
But
don't want it. Yeah.
It's interesting, and then there's another one too. He's a libertarian. I can't remember who it is. He's been arrested. He's in a jail for a long time too. But I would not be surprised if the three of that, like, they get pardoned this time. But it's just a matter of how soon it happens.
Yeah, a lot of times presidents will pardon people in their second term too, because they don't have to worry about being reelected. So, like, if you pardon somebody in your first term and it's not popular, then people are like, "Oh, I'm not going to elect that guy next time." So it could affect your reelection ability. So you'll see the pardons come out usually towards the end of your second term.
Yeah, and the other thing is you have to be careful of who it affects too. Like when you're talking about the NSA and the CIA, like and the Clintons, like.
Well, didn't they pardon the one dude from the CIA that was doing all the experiments on the people? He was doing the acid stuff on the people. He was giving people LSD.
Oh, you're talking about
interrogations
like the
and stuff?
60s or whatever, or 70s?
Well, it started in the 60s. It actually started earlier than that, in like the 40s or 50s, and they changed the code name of it. It was like
Chaos.
what was the code name for that thing? I don't even remember what it was called. But yeah, so the dude was like giving unknowing people LSD and trying to get information out of them or seeing how it affected them for interrogation purposes.
Really?
But he would do it to college students in the U.S. He would do it to they would just go and they'd run these experiments. And then that one, the guy that worked for him died, and they tried to cover that up or whatever. That was crazy.
There's a lot of interesting branches off of that whole program, including Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, was involved in that as a Harvard professor. But
well, they say that Manson actually was part of that too, right?
MK Ultra.
Yep. MK Ultra. Yep.
So sticking with pardons for a second here. So, you know, we hear all of this bickering back and forth during election years about who's Hitler, who's not Hitler, who's doing this, who's doing that. But right, so we understand what pardons are, right? So somebody has done something illegal and the president comes in and says, all right, you know, it's cool. You can go on now, right? Yeah. Or we'll, you know, you're in prison, we'll let you out of prison and you can go do whatever you're doing. Okay, so in history, who do you think has done more pardoning and commuting, the Republicans or the Democrats?
Well, are we talking like as the parties stand today, or
since the birth of our country to today?
Because the parties kind of flipped.
I'll take a wild guess as someone that doesn't know what they're talking about.
Okay.
I'm going to say Republicans.
You think they've done it more?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I would say Democrat, 100%.
I mean, it's because it's 50-50, right? You got a 50-50 shot here because there's never been a libertarian.
I don't think that
could be the Whig Party.
I mean, the problem is it just depends on how far it goes back. When was the first pardon done? Do you know?
George Washington pardoned
an apple tree thief.
No, it was like somebody that was for treason.
So it's been a thing since day one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Republicans only because I feel like we've dominated the office over the last 30 years. But go ahead.
Well, it's not even close being the other way around.
Democrats.
So definitely Joe Biden has pardoned or commuted more people than anyone ever in history. In fact, if you look at both of those things put together, he's done double the next guy in line.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious. And you have any guesses?
Who's number two?
You have
Clinton?
any guesses as to who number two
This is funny because
Obama or Clinton, one or the other. But let's say Obama. I'm gonna say Obama.
Clinton.
You want to go? You going Clinton? Okay. Well, so number two would be Obama. Would be right behind him. Okay. Now hold on. Now
that's insane.
And then, so he was more than double the guy before.
Do we have a number, like a number to associate with these?
Yeah. Well, so Biden is nearly 5,000.
5,000
total. Yeah.
Okay. And then how much was Obama?
It's
like 2,500 then?
Obama was just under 2,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually insane.
So he's more than double.
Hold on a second. So I'm looking at something right now that
George
says
W. Bush did 200
Biden's
pardons.
done 8,054 pardons. I don't know. This is Google. This is Google. I don't know if it's 100%
on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia ain't no
Coming back from
Wikipedia.
But even 8,000 is ridiculous.
I have Obama at 1927.
That's a good year.
That's about what he was saying. Yeah,
that's accurate.
That's accurate. Yeah. So my data's coming from Axios, which is pretty good.
Yeah. And then look at the two Republicans right there. Donald Trump 237, Bush 200. You know, so
and these are combined numbers here. So, but yeah, the biggest numbers are Joe Biden, Barack Obama, then recently departed Jimmy Carter, Mr. Peanut. Then it goes to Bill Clinton, and then here comes the first Republican would be Reagan, and then
we haven't really used. So that's interesting too. Like the pardon has become more prevalent more recently in history, for sure.
Well, hold on a second. Not necessarily because Trump only used 297 and Bush was only 200.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit. 8,054 by Biden. Like, you had to find 8,000 people to pardon them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Joe was kind of a puppet, low key. He was probably be like, hey, you should pardon this guy for us. And, his dementia was like,
Kamala was pardoning him. Yeah.
Pardon.
So, actually, interesting story. Did you hear, what's the Speaker of the House's name? Mike Tyson. Definitely not Mike Tyson.
Oh my God!
What is the Speaker of the House?
Mike Johnson.
Thank you. Did you hear him today talking about that they're going to have to investigate into the bills that Biden has signed to see if any of them were signed cognitely, essentially? I'm going to look
the
up
fuck
the
out of
Oh,
here.
that's fair.
Serious?
I just don't understand why. Like, the one thing I have questions like, why do we why do people just see such old people running for president, right? And they just vote for them. I'm just like,
Well,
age is
you have to be.
crazy.
You have to be
a
a
certain age, yeah, but like Joe Biden.
What is
how
it?
old he, like-
45 is the minimum.
No.
35.
The 35.
35?
Yeah,
Is it?
35.
But-
the problem is you got to have the money, the influence.
That's true. You need the money for it, too.
You don't have the money at the age of 35 unless you're born into a billionaire family. You don't have the
revenue they
influence.
make off these freaking campaigns are insane.
Yeah. Well, again, a lot of these campaigns are paid by companies.
Yeah.
Companies that
Lobbyists.
are lobbyists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to understand when you're going for presidency, you're getting paid by companies, by billion-dollar corporations, people that want their plans to be upfront in your political running.
You will owe them a favor.
Yes,
when you get in
correct.
there. That's how it
Teddy
works.
Roosevelt was the youngest president
Yeah.
elected. 42 years old.
Really? I thought it was JFK. I'm actually surprised.
No.
Who had
JFK
the,
was what, 46?
And he was right behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
definitely led the office in ass though, because that dude fucking put it down.
Marilyn
yeah.
Monroe.
JFK?
Like, yeah,
Oh
dude.
my God.
Dude, the JFK scandal stuff is like the most interesting in history, dude.
That's the one. If I had a time machine, I'm not going to go back and find winning lottery numbers, none of that shit. Nah, I'm going back as fucking JFK's wingman.
And honestly, dude, Annie was pulling Jackie O. Anyways, she's definitely number one on the hottest first ladies for sure. Who's like the top 5 hottest first ladies, right?
Definitely Melania.
Yeah, she's got to be up there, right?
Dude, you'd be fool not to put
mean,
I'll tell you who's not is Michael Obama. That dude is not. Michael Obama is not.
I
on
love
there.
that. I love that meme. I shared that meme. It's the two, like, they're laying in bed facing opposite, and like, she's
linebacker shoulders?
She's sitting there saying, "I bet he's thinking about Diddy," and then Obama's saying, "I bet he's thinking about Diddy."
Yeah, guys.
He's got linebacker shoulders, dude.
But yeah, Jackie O is definitely number one on my list for sure. She was a babe back in the
I
day.
mean, Melania is a real live living supermodel by definition.
Sure.
So I mean,
yeah, she's got to be up there too.
And she's fucking smart, dude. She's
Yeah.
fucking winner, bro. Not that Jackie O wasn't, but like Melania is the fucking it for
She's
first
sharp.
ladies, dude.
she's sharp.
Is Trump the new Kennedy? But like way older, obviously. But like, is that like the thing, right? Because they both have the hot, wife and
Yeah.
the
Plowed through a lot of ass.
charisma.
Yeah.
They both got shot at. You know what I mean?
Grabbing
Right?
her by the genitals.
Yeah.
One by the CIA, the other one by some
Also
random.
the CIA.
Also the CIA. Maybe the FBI.
Yeah, they have the the Lincoln Kennedy comparisons. We got the Kennedy Trump comparison.
Yeah.
It could be a thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, like, so speaking of Trump, what do you guys think tomorrow?
Oh Jesus!
Have you seen some of the videos of the stuff that's going on there today? Just the insurrection from the other side now.
Oh,
really?
No.
Yeah. It's pretty
Or do they
crazy.
cry on the Capitol Hill or something?
Like it's. I don't think it's gonna get to that point because I don't think they have that. I mean, but you don't know. Like the one thing I'll say about the left, when they fucking organize, they have zero fucks.
Well, you got the Antifa, dude.
Dude, they just don't give a fuck.
What it
like,
is-
at all. They feel like they're gonna get out of jail. They feel like they're not gonna get any trouble.
Well, no shit, because there's 8,000 pardons. That's why.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Oh my god.
I mean, what are they going to do about all the, like, I mean, all the stores are running out of blue hair dye right now. So, like, what are they going to do about
Yeah,
that?
that's a real problem.
Well, do you know the CEO of TikTok is planning to be there tomorrow?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I feel like the more money you make, the more ties you have close to the president.
Oh,
or something
yeah,
like that. 'Cause
100%.
It's like all the secrets and top stuff. Like, have you heard that? Like, apparently a bunch of like famous billionaires are building like underground trenches right now. Have you heard about that?
What movie have you been watching?
No.
TikTok.
Like Elon Musk has
Watch
one.
on the TikTok.
Yeah.
Apparently Elon Musk has one. He
Apparently,
has, like,
that's why we're
underground
buying.
trenches.
Oh my god, maybe that's why Trump wants to buy Greenland. You guys seen the movie Greenland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's got to turn it into some battleships or whatever.
That's
fucking-
right. Yeah, no, I mean,
Man.
there's a ton of corruption here. We have, I mean,
Oh my
every
gosh.
government has a ridiculous amount of corruption, but we have, I mean, we're leading the league for sure.
It's sure. I don't know about that, but we're up there. We're up there as far as like first world countries for
Yeah,
sure.
the difference between us and other countries is
Look
the
at this.
government.
This is today.
Oh Jesus!
The government allows us to live comfortably. You know, like other countries, they're like, "Fuck you." You know, in China,
You
they're
gotta
like,
press the
"You're
mic thing
stuck."
again.
Pardon me.
Bottom next to the.
I turned the volume off.
Oh, okay, I thought you.
Yeah. I don't
Oh my
really
God.
care what anybody's saying. I just think it's
I
funny
guess
that
it's
all
good
these
that you
people-
turned it off. Anyways.
Did you ever watch the Matt Walsh videos of people crying and stuff? And, like the
Oh, yeah,
ridiculous stuff they were saying. He had one. There was a woman on there. It was a black lady or whatever, and she's like, I'm afraid I'm going to be enslaved again. And we're like, are you
oh my
kidding,
gosh,
bro?
dude.
Like,
Relax.
who told you that, dude?
That'd be insane.
So when you like go to Google and you just punch in Trump day one executive orders just to see like what's he up to, you get a real mishmash of interesting like curation coming from the top there, and it's all designed for it's all clickbait.
Right. Of course.
So CNN, their top headline is Trump prepares for aggressive push of day one executive orders, and then
Gosh.
you know,
there will be. I feel like there will be 5 or 6 executive orders pushed into play tomorrow.
yeah, and then so
Mostly
go and
around the border.
You go and you go to CNN, and then so of course you got the headline is Trump prepares for aggressive push of day one executive orders, and then you start drilling down across the globe. Leaders in foreign capitals will watch anxiously to see how the new American leader begins executing his plans for tariffs, land grabs, and an end to grinding wars. Like little bit of like
Land grabs.
land grabs. Like yeah, we're gonna just gonna
what lab
grab
we-
Greenland.
yeah, I wanna know what
Greenland.
we're
We're gonna
grabbing
get
up, yeah.
Canada.
Greenland and Canada, dude. We're
Yep.
taking them both.
Yeah.
We should take over Canada, dude. Canada sucks.
No,
Yeah, it's just a bunch of space that we have to fucking protect.
Yeah.
And pay a bunch of money to do to
Yeah.
for no reason.
Dude,
have
what have
free
they ever
healthcare.
done ever, dude?
They don't have true free health care. If you speak
No.
to any Canadian, they will tell you like
How
yeah,
bad it is. Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
if you like like I've had 2 bicep tendon repair surgeries. It's not considered an emergency surgery. I'm waiting for months to try to get this fixed, and it won't get fixed right because that's something you have to do relatively quickly to be fixed right. And that's how they do. They prioritize everything. And dude, there's certain jobs you do not need to be socialistic. You know what I mean? And your doctor is one of them. Like I will pay more for the better doctor. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, and also talking about like things that might be coming up. Did you guys hear about Missouri's new laws about immigrants? What residents will begin paid to find immigrants $1,000 to literally report them.
Oh my God, let's
Good.
go.
Let's
do
go.
it, dude.
Do
it.
Mount up.
literally-
I'll drive.
Missouri.
I'll drive.
Guys' night,
drive.
immigrant hunting.
You're gonna be like, wait a minute. No, Puerto Rican. I'm good. I'm good.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it for my wife. My wife's Puerto Rican. I'm gonna call ice on her. Get my $1,000.
Use me as bait to get them all close together, and then
Oh
we
my
jump.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
This chick is Mexican for sure. Get her out of here.
Oh,
No,
wow, that's crazy. Wow.
like that's something I've heard that him come out and talk about what he wants to do or whatever early on, and that was one of the big things he said. He says we're gonna try to lock down the borders, which I think is important to him. I think that he's gonna get a big push there. And the other thing is too is the banning of the giving kids hormone shit like that. I think that is
Yeah, yeah.
I
huge.
do like the food laws lately has been going on. The whole dye thing, stuff like that. Like
Well,
I
yeah.
feel like our
That's good.
Did that
The way that
actually
we can
go
s-
into place?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
So
There's,
red
like,
dyes or whatever that
they're
one.
being, like I think there was a big thing about Fruit Loops or something was one of the bigger ones
Well,
too. They had like
it's
a
not
lot
till
of-
like 2027, but they have till like 2027 to get everything off
it's
the
it's
shelf.
a really good idea.
But how
It's
did
like-
how did that pass? Like, was that already in through the Senate and House, and we were just waiting on it to get signed? Do you know anything about that, David?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it the other day, and I was like, wait, how the fuck did this pass? Like, nobody's in office right now. That means they were working on this already, because that's pretty interesting.
I think
it's a good idea.
it's a good
I mean,
thing.
everybody else in the entire world has such natural substances, and like they remove a lot of dyes and a lot of like chemicals and stuff from their food. Like
they don't remove them; they just don't add them.
Well, yeah, okay, that's what I meant to say. But like, have you had chocolate?
Except for
I mean,
Japan.
you-
Don't buy anything from Japan.
Oh, you mean Japan has great food, dude? All their stuff
Dude,
is fantastic.
literally,
What are you talking about?
on like Japanese candy, it says may cause cancer. Like legitimate.
No way.
Swear to God, bro. Hold on.
I'm a pull one up. But like, I mean, David can probably value. You've had chocolate in Germany. It tastes completely different than it does.
Germany
here.
actually has very, very tight food standards. So
and like,
Germany
we
is
should
a good
have
one.
those type of things too. Like those are things
Mostly
we
because
consume.
the milk is better over there. It's far less processed. Than
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
the main ingredient.
But even
from-
things like
from
that, like we
chocolate.
have all these processed stuff where I feel like we
So
should really
here's-
focus on something like
Here's
that.
a NPR article today. Beyond red dye number 3, here's what parents should know, blah, blah, blah. When the FDA announced a ban of food dye number 3 this week, the agency pointed to a law that says that food additives may not be authorized if it's been found to cause cancer. so on and so forth. So yeah, so that's gone in. That's not a bill, by the way. Like,
No, you just said the FDA banned it, so
Yeah.
I didn't understand what. I just heard it.
yeah,
It's
And
a start, though. It's a
I
very
did
good
read
start.
something on it that. Well, it's interesting the FDA stepped up now and did that.
Yes, fair enough.
at the end of the administration.
Yeah,
like there's
like,
yeah,
please
it's-
don't fire all of us type thing. Maybe.
that might be it. Like, seems like there's less. I mean, obviously, so like with the pardons, like all these things are being rammed through at the end,
Right.
And
Well, because nobody's paying attention because there's still fires going on in California burning all the Diddy evidence.
Yeah. I mean, this is, I think the die number 3 thing's a pretty leftist thing, right? Isn't that like a leftist supported bill or no?
It's not a bill.
It's
so,
not a bill. It's
so
just a
basically,
ban.
what it
Oh,
is
it's just a ban.
the-
Okay.
Yeah.
It's no
So
bill,
what
yeah.
it is the FDA. If there's something that's put into foods that's proven fact that it causes cancer, then they can ban it.
Okay.
So essentially, at some point in time, it's made it effective that
Yeah, they've proven that this is not good. Yeah.
yeah,
Makes
which
sense.
California actually prohibited the sale containing red dye in the state. Oh yeah, starting 2027.
Dude, you know what's funny? And not to get crazy off topic, but they do that. FDA will ban supplements because they could cause cancer or whatever. But like, so for instance, there's
Without any research.
yeah, well, or
you
they'll
just-
have really shitty research. So I for a lot of supplements, I'll look into like the actual research studies and stuff. And there's a supplement called Cardarine, and
L-carnitine.
it's not L-cardarine. It's I think it's just Cardarine. It's Cardarine or
Kyrene's Mexican cousin. El
Cardarine. Or anyways, yeah. So it's like a fat loss supplement, right? And there was a study that was done that gave rats cancer when they gave it to them, but they gave them like 5 times the normal dose, and they didn't exercise. They just sat in a cage and did nothing, and then eventually developed cancer. But they gave them like a abundance of it, not like a normal dose.
Right.
So it's like, does it cause cancer or does it not? You know what I mean? Like, because it was given in the study's such a shit study. So, you know, it could just be a thing. But so yeah, a couple of the rats developed cancer, so it's proven to develop cancer in animals. So now it's no longer available.
Well, and that goes back to well, first of all, supplements aren't even monitored. Like when you go to GNC, like half the shit that's in there, you could literally throw whatever you want in there, put a label on it, and people buy it. Like,
Well, that
you're not monitored.
Dude, the Redcon guy went to jail over that. Did you see that? The Singerman. So he was putting like fucking D-ball in his shit or whatever, and mislabeling stuff, and they actually figured it out, and then he ended up going to jail.
D-ball? What's that?
Dynaball. It's like it's like a performance enhancement drug.
Wow.
Yeah, super good. Oh, and they've been doing that for years.
I mean, it's super good. If you were getting that for a supplement in fucking
Yeah, dude.
GNC, you're
Yeah.
buying the one thing that
Bro,
actually works.
Redcon 1, dude. Yeah. So, but they were putting like all the stuff didn't come out to what it was saying it was. Whatever. He's kind of a weird dude. Anyways, he got in trouble because he like got a DUI on his boat, wrecked it with his kid on the boat or whatever too. So he's kind of like a shitty human being anyway. But
But the reason he's getting in trouble is because he's putting an illegal
Correct.
steroid in it.
Correct.
Not because he's putting like, not because he's saying it's got 500 milligrams of caffeine and it's only got 200, or not because it's saying it's got vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin
Well,
D.
technically, isn't it like
And it's got nothing. Not because he's saying, oh, it's my special fucking pre-workout powder. And
Isn't it illegal in general though to lie on what you're putting inside? So if he did say if it had like 300 milligrams of caffeine and something or something, if it actually had like 500, wouldn't
So
it
it's,
technically be
it's
illegal?
been a while since I watched this, but there's like supplements are kind of like off the record.
Well, it's a lot of
Under the table.
it'll say like SARMs or whatever. They'll say not for human consumption or whatever, but then they'll sell it because they're not approved by the FDA.
Right.
So you have a lot of like not for human consumption stuff.
But most
with-
supplements aren't like FDA. They don't even have to go through an FDA approval.
that's why.
Right. So like I could sell vitamin C supplements
Correct.
out of my house, and like no, unless somebody comes to me and like they could maybe do a class action lawsuit if enough people like
yeah, if they take
didn't
it.
see a benefit in it long term, and that could be outside, but there's nothing that I have to go through in order to put a label on a box of pills and sell outside.
supplements are considered food, not drugs, so they can be introduced to the market without any
actually
FDA
insane.
approval.
Yeah. Well, that's
That's
why.
why most of them are shit. So here's a perfect example because you're talking about the FDA. Let's bring up.
Well, then
Hold on. Let's bring up. We just talked about it the other day. Somebody was asking me.
We get
about
to
it.
bring out about Bang. Bang got sued by Monster.
Well, hold on a sec. No, I want to stay on the supplement side of things. What are those? What are the big things people are talking about now? Peptides.
Oh yeah.
So peptides, before they got the dangerous marker on them by the FDA, pharmaceutical companies were actually creating them in pharmacies. So when you were buying different peptides, you were getting a legit peptide that was actually what it said it was, right? So then the FDA, because they don't control that, they put the dangerous level on them, right? There's no dangerous side effects proven, but because all the studies have only been animal based, and because the FDA doesn't have any control over them, and pharma doesn't have any control over them, they put this dangerous level on them. And what that does is now all the pharmaceutical companies that were developing them before stop because they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to have any issues. They don't want to be giving this to people, and then all of a sudden some test comes out that all these people have cancer, et cetera. So then what happens? Now you can go online and you can start search for different peptides that you want, and you can find them all over these different random places.
Yeah.
But now they're not trustworthy sources. Somebody could be making it in their fucking basement. Somebody could be throwing shit that's not even real. Somebody could be, it's like...
Oh, that happens all the time. Yeah.
Right. So now that that's happened and the FDA has put that on, that no pharmaceutical company wants to do it in the right way. And I can't remember the word for these pharmaceutical companies. It starts with an S. It's like simple or something like that. So now something that could actually be out there helping people, that could actually be currently being tested and actually run through different trials, is got this bad nomenclature to it to keep people from doing anything with it. And now the shit that's out there, like, you know, I was at the gym the other day and someone's like, oh, why aren't you doing peptides? And I was like, because I don't fucking know the people. Like, you just don't know. You go online and you look at this stuff and it's like, I don't know if this is a legit company or not. Like, people now, they buy thousands of fucking reviews. They buy influencers on TikTok to go out and say that this stuff's awesome, and it could not
make
be.
Them pay, like,
you know what I mean? There's all kinds of things out there, and now it's manipulated data.
Yep.
And why do they do that? I mean, I think when it comes to peptides, I think peptides are the next big thing.
I don't even like the name. The peptide sounds.
It's actually really.
funky.
There's actually a lot of studies that say that it would be really well.
It totally sounds like a
have
drug. It's like, hey, man, he's on peptides, bro. Stay away from him.
Yeah.
No, but,
And it's tweaking on peptides right now.
But athletes have been using them for years, like 20 years. And there's a lot of good benefits to them. Unfortunately, there's never been specific tests. Animal wise, though, no dangerous side effects. No human testing's been done. So
there's like websites that you can send them out to, and they'll test it for you. So if you buy some whatever and you're not sure if it's real or not or whatever, you can just send it out. And you could do this for drugs too. Like if you buy like steroids or whatever, you can send it out and they'll tell you send it to the company. I was trying to figure out what the name of the company is, or whatever. And they'll test it and they'll also tell you the purity level. So they'll say, okay, this is 99% pure or whatever. Because whenever we get stuff, that's how if I ever change like a source, I always send it out to have it tested. I'll pay whatever. It's usually like $100 or whatever, but well worth it to do it, because then you know what you're getting is what it is. And you send it to them, no label, no nothing, just a pill or whatever it is, and then they'll tell you what it is. And because a lot of drugs are faked with other drugs too when you buy them.
Yeah, of course.
But same thing with the peptides, because we use TB500 a lot. It's an anti-inflammatory peptide. It's really good. And BBC 157, which is like a healing peptide.
Yeah.
BBC, if you ever hurt,
those are the two hot ones.
yeah,
BBC,
BBC, if you ever hurt, that's like
BBC?
that, BPC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll avoid the BBC. but BBC 157 is great for like any type of injury that you might have, or it's actually good for digestion. It helps your gut and stuff too. So there's a bunch of other stuff that it's really good for. But super great supplement, but also faked a lot. There's a couple reputable sources. If you're ever going to buy peptides online, Amino Asylum's a good one. That's a pretty reputable place, and what you buy is what you'll get. It's just expensive.
Yeah, so I mean, you look on here and look, you can see anywhere from $110 to $140, but there's so many of them out there. These are capsules. They're usually injectables. So how are they doing capsules versus them doing injectables? Oh, this one is both of them for $139.
Yeah,
Direct Health Shop.
I've heard of some of the TRT clinics sell the BPC pills. I've never done the pills. I just do the injectable.
Well, I mean, it's because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you don't know what any of these are. I mean, here's Amazon. You can buy them for $31 for 1,000 mcgs.
They're sugar pills.
And that's probably not right, yeah.
They're sugar pills.
Well, and that's the thing. It's probably not real. And the other part of it is,
so
like
low
you said,
dosed or whatever.
Yeah, the other part of it is, once again, you just don't know where you're getting it from. And frankly, unless you're willing to do all the research into each individual company, like it's just not worth the risk.
They might. Well, what you do is you just send it out, and then if it's something that you want to take, you're like, this is a sketchy thing, whatever. You send it out, but then it can get expensive, right? Because say you pay $100 to send it out, right? And they test it or whatever it is, $50, $100, whatever, and then you get it back, and then it comes back no good. Well, now you just bought the supplement, and you paid to have it sent out. Just tell you that your stuff's shit.
Yeah,
now you got to find another one and do it again until you find the right one. And then the other issue you have too is sometimes companies will be good for a while, and then they'll start sending you fake shit, and then you just don't know. So.
Big placebo effect right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You do stuff that works, and all of a sudden you get the same bottle, same everything. It's just not the same product at all. But
a lot of the peptides are really good though. I think that more doctors should use them. Honestly, like just because we've talked about this too, but like how the pharmaceutical industry is designed to keep you sick and keep you coming back.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. It costs a lot more, or it's more beneficial for them financially to cure to repeatedly treat a disease than it is to cure it. So that's definitely for sure.
Well, and the things like this, the big scandal. Those dirty scandals.
You're hanging out, you're hanging out with
The
me
big
too much.
scandal about peptides, though, is that when they put that dangerous supplement on it, it just gives Big Pharma an opportunity to create, their own, not copyrighted, but
version.
Well, there's certain things that you can do. What's the word I'm looking for? Like the way that your body delivers it to your body, the way that it presents the body, like those are certain things that they can capture and they can control, so that basically you can only this is the way that it needs to be delivered to get the maximum effect. So they develop that, then it's not copyright, but they
like a proprietary.
What did you say?
Patent.
Yes, they patent the delivery mechanism.
You can patent the delivery way.
You can
That's
patent
actually
anything.
wild.
That's how most medications work. Is
correct.
By patents. So that's how they.
Yeah. So there's only
them.
certain things that you can patent, and maybe you could look that up down there, laptop guys. But look up, patenting medicine. But so what happens though is they work with the FDA. They come up like there's something hot on the market. I mean, this is the conspiracy aspect, but like, hey, peptides might be the next big thing. The problem is we have no control. We're not getting a piece of the pie. So the FDA goes ahead and puts their little dangerous label on them because there's no testing. And now Big Pharma works on a solution to find a way to patent the delivery mechanism and whatever else they need to. So that takes out all the small market not aftermarket, but the
competition. There's no competition.
Right. Yeah. And then they own it, and now they get to charge whatever they want. So then when Nick says, I want to go to the doctors should be pushing it more. Yeah, the doctors are pushing it more now, except before you could get it like right now, $130 for 157 and for 500. Now to go through your doctor and your insurance company charges, or the insurance company managers, the pharmaceutical managers charge insurance company $900, and then you're paying like $1,300 to your insurance, and then you're covering. It's just a shit show.
Well,
circle.
It's kind of funny if you think about the reason why people put patents in place in the first place was so that way, like if I invented something, some big company can't come in and steal my idea and make money on it. It was supposed to protect me, and really now a lot of times it does the opposite. It allows because what makes the free market work is that you have competition. But so it's like I think patents are kind of a bad thing in a way. But I don't know a real good solution.
The problem with patents is, like, for example, insulin. Back in the day, used to be only one way to produce insulin. So Eli Lilly, that makes insulin, patents it for 10 years, and then waits until the patent's almost up to see if there's any buyers in the market that are willing to help them improve the drug or or buy it out from them. And if they don't see anything they like or any offers, they repatent it for another 10 years. And so essentially no one can produce insulin.
Yeah, well, they're having that's where you get all these medical shortages, right? Like right now there's a huge shortage in IV bags, like fluid.
Yes,
right.
And insulin had this a few years back where there's a shortage of insulin because there's only a certain amount of people that are allowed to make this, and they can only make it at the capacity they can do it. And if they have a problem, like let's just say the bill of goods they got from China was no good, it held up production. Guess what? nobody has their insulin. So now people could potentially die. You know what I mean? Or, and same thing with these IVs. Like, there's no bags. So, like, I pay for that subscription up at Restore where I get these IVs every other week. And I can't get one because they don't have fluid. And I'm like, dude, I'm paying for the subscription that I can't get, whatever. But, and then they allocate it first to the hospitals and then to places like where I go. But yeah, so it creates this problem of a supply and demand problem because you only have one or two people that make it when there's an opportunity for a lot of other people to be doing it.
Here's a fun fact. The U.S. government holds over 30,000 patents.
That's a lot.
Why?
Right.
I mean, we come up with things all the time.
No, we don't.
You sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
Oh, you're right. Half the things we have is made in China.
No.
No, the U.S. government is not. Well,
we're not a manufacturer.
So I would say that if they're patenting anything, they're patenting technology on like nuclear bombs, trigger systems, things like that. I mean,
how many of those are military patents?
I was going to say that would be the.
Well, they're held by the U.S. government, so all of them.
Yeah.
Well, but military based.
Yeah.
Now,
so like, if you have a patent,
can you find
on
a breakdown of those?
Tomahawk missile or something like that? You know what I mean?
There's a certain amount of them that are absolutely classified, but But to that point, keep in mind, like even nuclear weapons, the government does not manufacture them. Companies that work for the government manufacture them. We don't manufacture anything.
Right.
The government, that is.
Yeah. So, what did the government grant permission for them to use that technology to manufacture that? That's how it works.
Absolutely.
Yeah, after they stole it from somebody else.
Yeah. Software too could be a big thing. I mean, there's a lot of software companies that run through America. Like you have like Apple and like.
Yeah, but why would the government?
Yeah, but
why would the government hold those
patents? The holder of the patent doesn't necessarily have to be the person building the technology, but they're the person that typically either creates the technology. And they almost are always the person that creates the
U.S.
technology.
government does also not build anything.
The patents go for software as well. Like, for instance, Apple's bionic fucking chip or whatever, where they use silicone. Like, I guarantee there's a patent on that.
Oh, yeah.
But the U.S. government would never own
for
that.
military patents.
Apple owns it.
Oh, sure.
Apple owns that.
For actual military patents in the U.S. are 1,595 actual patents since 2021.
Oh, since 2020.
Yeah, but there's probably more.
That's
than
not
that.
overall.
That's what it shows up in my AI Google search.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird that the government would have that many patents.
There are some, and this is a whole other topic for another day, but there are some very, we'll say, exotic sounding technologies that they own patents on.
Oh, yeah.
Like in particular in relation to like propulsion systems and energy creation systems and things like that.
There's a new body armor my cousin was trying out on a military base that he was. It's supposed
Iron
to.
Man?
No, not like Iron Man.
Is his name Tony Stark?
It's
No
like
way.
it's
Stark
supposedly
Industries?
pants and a coat you put on, and it gives you a little bit more
The
strength.
power of flight?
No, it doesn't. It gives you the ability to like walk longer distances and give you more strength.
Really?
It's like
like Terminator all over
and
it.
I've seen those.
exoskeletons
Yeah.
for the suits.
I've actually seen those. I think.
Yeah, he was trying them out on a government base. He said that they were trying to make them make them more lightweight and more durable, longer lasting battery. Because you have to put like these. He was telling me about these batteries that last only for like a few hours.
Well, to your topic for the energy thing, that's interesting because like they had, there's like, did you hear about how like Ford created an electric car back in like 1992? And then they released it, but they leased them.
It wasn't Ford, it was GM.
Was it GM? Okay, I'm sorry.
It was under the Saturn brand. It was called the Saturn EV1.
Yeah, exactly. And Leno has one, right?
He is. That's the only one in existence
No,
that wasn't destroyed.
There's one actually in Cleveland at the museum. At the
oh yeah, you're right.
There's
They
that's
took
only
all
other-
they took the guts out. They took the motor out of it.
Oh, did they?
But
Okay, yeah. But
there's a great documentary called "Who Killed the Electric Car."
Oh yeah,
And
Okay.
it's based on.
Is it based
the
on that? Okay.
EV1. It's
So-
really cool.
So yeah, so GM released this car or whatever, and then you correct me if I'm wrong on this, but then
I'm looking at
then
it
the
right now,
oil
just-
companies came in
It was
and were like,
96 is when it was actually created.
yeah, okay, so the oil companies came in and were like, we don't want you to make this car. You're gonna take it off the market. And I think Ford did this on GM did this on purpose. That's why they only leased them.
It was a close-end lease where you had to return the car.
Yep,
and
you
of that.
you could not buy it. Yeah, and then so they freaked out, and then whatever.
There was also a very specific client list. You couldn't just walk into a Saturn dealer and lease it. Like you had to apply to lease the car. So it went to celebrities and
Yeah, and which is I'm sure targeted, so just to be like, hey, so Ohio or whatever, just so you know, we're gonna start making electric vehicles, and they're like, oh, wait a second, what do we got to do to make this not happen?
I'd love to see Elon just like completely troll them by bringing that car back.
That'd be great.
It's back, bitches.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. But I mean, I imagine a lot of it has to do with that. I think that it's bad for the economy. In a sense, for us to figure out more efficient ways to do things, because like just say for instance that we could go all electric, right, and it could be very affordable for everybody. Well, what happens? Well, then now nobody's buying gasoline, so all these gas stations go out of business, all this stuff, whatever. So it could be an issue.
Well, those gas stations
that
could
way.
just become fast charging stations like they are basically now, and they still have the shops and stuff like that. It's like I was thinking the same thing. Like, why don't we like get rid of all these fossil fuels and all these other?
Well,
like,
you get the other problems.
You
then
can't.
You can. I don't think you can.
It's impossible.
So
Nothing's as efficient. As
has
us.
anybody watched the TV series Landman with Billy?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he explains
Wait a
how.
minute, is today Sunday? Fuck
Yeah.
yeah,
Sunday's
new
podcast they
episode.
did.
Yeah. Well, he breaks in one episode. He breaks
What's
it
it
all
on?
down.
It's on Paramount, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
he does a great job breaking it down.
He
But
breaks it all down. Why?
because it's a lot of things. Like for instance, okay, let's talk about the different types of power out there outside of oil. First one is like the
Solar?
windmills,
Windmill.
right? Windmills, and he talks about in that specific scenario.
Cement.
He talks about like how much it costs to build them,
Yeah, you're not
how
actually
much it
saving
costs to
anything.
maintain them, and essentially after 10 years, they're basically they're worthless.
Obsolete, yeah.
They're fucking absolute. You have to rebuild the whole fucking
Windmills?
thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, he's like, and if you ever want, and this is actually something I heard on, I don't remember what podcast it was. He's like, but I think Trump was actually talking about. He's like, nobody ever talks about like literally going into the windmill field. You drive by them on the side of the road. Like you can go down to Southern Ohio, down by Dayton, and there's a shitload of them. And I think there's a bunch of them up in Toledo.
There's one in whatchamacallit, Middleburg Heights. It's right on the fairgrounds.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if one of them, like specifically one,
Literally
you
one.
need to go through a field. But if you go through a field of them, you'll see like the decay, the rot, the rust on all of them, and all this stuff.
Why
And,
don't they
like,
knock those
Well, it's a
down?
moving
So-
mechanism. Think about it. You know what I mean?
Well,
So it's
because
gonna-
if you knock it down, you got to build another one, and another one costs millions of dollars, right? And then the other aspect of this is too, it's not like these things get built there; they have to get built in a factory using machines. They have to get driven there using machines. So now you need oil and gas in those trucks, in those factories, in order to go ahead and build those.
I think the only power that's like efficient to make, other than like fossil fuels, is nuclear. Right? Isn't that?
So nuclear is that I think that's the future. Obviously, everybody's afraid of nuclear because you hear about Chernobyl. You heard about
Yeah.
the one that just happened a couple of years ago. I can't
Japan?
remember. Yeah, it started with an F.
Oh, the nuclear plant. Yeah, Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the tsunami.
But like nothing really happened in Japan. Though. I don't think anybody even died or was really harmed in
Well,
that one,
no,
if I'm not
the
mistaken.
one from Japan. The reason why it got messed up was
Fukushima.
because of
What is it?
Because
Fukushima.
Fukushima.
Fukushima. Yeah.
Fukushima.
Fukushima.
Yes, it had to. Yeah, we'll get banned for that word for sure. No, but that one was because a tsunami hit it and it flooded it, and it pulled all this nuclear waste out, which was just going everywhere, and it caused a Chernobyl-like effect. Actually, the area is still inhabitable where it was, so there's nobody that lives over there. The radiation's too high, and what they did, they actually built a structure. Because I watched a whole documentary on this tsunami, which is crazy.
No, this is great.
They built a structure over top of the whatever the area where like all the nuclear waste was to contain it. And then they contain it into these barrels, right? And these big containers or whatever. And so they have all this nuclear waste, water or whatever there. And they're like, what do we do with it now? And so what they want to do is just dump it slowly into the ocean, which seems like a horrible fucking idea. You know what I mean? But I don't know what else you do. What do you shoot it in the outer space or something like that, or what? Because there's so much water.
I feel like
Russia.
you slowly do it does dilute the whole thing, right? If you do like one barrel a year,
Just send it to China.
Yeah,
Isn't it? Oh
yeah,
my
we'll go dump it.
Just take a B-52 once a day.
Yeah, and just drop it.
Drop it. Be like, gotcha.
Yeah, dude. Well,
Just a barrel of
dude,
water.
it's still
wink, wink.
It's still, but it's still inhabitable today, and like, yeah, and it's like, it's not like Chernobyl bad or whatever, but I mean, it's it's not good. It's definitely not good.
There's a new power source coming out that I was watching on Discovery
Egg
Channel.
thing?
No. It's
dude, that was
no. There's a new thing. Do you know how we have solar power, right?
All right. we'll go.
So solar power. Well, there's a new one coming out called shadow power. They used shadows and to repower stuff, and it's actual thing. And it's literally.
I haven't heard of that.
I'll send you guys the clip of it. A scientist figured out a way to engineer darkness as a power source.
I say we just get a bunch of kumquats and put them together.
But no, it's really
potatoes.
interesting.
Potatoes.
I did this in the 4th grade. It's good, dude.
Yeah, so getting back to it, like, unfortunately, there's just no way to produce the amount of power and electricity without oil.
Yes.
Right? It's just not, and it probably will never be possible.
It's
for one, oil is rejuvenative. What was the fucking word? I can't speak tonight, dude.
Evan, what have you done?
Either way, like
regenerative.
Say
it 5 times fast.
Gosh, dang, dude. I don't know what's going on with my speaking. I usually
We're not even drinking.
maybe that's the problem.
That's definitely
This fucking comes back, okay? That's what happens.
But so that's for one, and then two, like all the things that you want, like for instance, you want to build electric cars. Well, you need the different sources in order to do that, like the ones that they're getting out of the Congo and out of Africa, which is being done by really shitty old machines and also back labor of like slaves, right?
The electric car is such a fucking dumbass idea anyways. Okay, let's have this electric car that we're charging with energy that we're getting from coal mine, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, the energy was created through burning coal somewhere else, but I didn't burn it, so it's fine. And then when it's done, then we're gonna have this horrible waste that we don't know what to get rid of, how to get rid of it, and we're gonna bury it in a mountain. That's healthy. So, but no, they're looking at it all wrong, dude. They need to start going back to those hybrid cars if they really want to do something. Like my wife's car, dude, that thing gets
Prius?
like 50 miles. Yeah, like a Prius, honestly. Well, Priuses are full. Or no, they're hybrids.
they're hybrid.
Yeah, so the non-chargeable hybrids, you can get like 50 miles a gallon in those suckers, and which is super fuel efficient. And then you don't have the problem of getting stuck. You still fill it up with regular gas at a station. They recharge themselves when you're braking or whatever when you're driving. So they're great. They're absolutely great. They're very fuel efficient. And
not to mention they're extremely low maintenance, which is why dealerships hate them. Like for instance, you can out of a Prius, like I had customers go 60, 70,000 miles before doing their brakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the way that because like you said, when you're braking it actually regenerates and charges the battery.
Right.
So that friction that it causes, basically, like especially in Ohio where like it gets cold, you heat up your brakes, you park and they rust.
Yeah.
So like something about the way that does that like prevents rust building up on rotors and stuff like that, which it's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
they're great. They're like one of the best types of vehicles made as far as like an economy standpoint. And I actually think it has a lot to do with the same problem you had in 1996 is the oil industry does not want you to do that. They'd rather you go and make the electric car that they can burn their oil for to create the electricity to put in there. Just a big smoke screen, just like everything else. So.
Yeah, that's the most I think comical thing about the entire climate change argument. And unless it's part of a bigger plan, say 10 years down the road, where we want to start wars with other countries because they're not observing all the bullshit that we say is cool right now, right? We can go back to, all right, well, so the Obamas live right at sea level, in a $200 million estate on Martha's Vineyard, right? So they're really going to spend that kind of money on a house there that is going to be flooded by all the ice from Greenland and Iceland and everywhere else? Nah. And it doesn't matter. Even if you got rid of all the vehicles here and made them all electric and everything, okay.
What about China? What about Russia?
What about India?
Yeah, India. Yeah, God.
India and China are the two grossest polluters out there. So we could cut us, Europe, Australia, and fucking Tonga, and it wouldn't put a dent in what's being produced out of there. I can tell you guys. So I had the opportunity to go to a place called Foshan in China. So you fly. What?
Foshan?
You're not funny. You need to work on that if you're going to try and be funny. So anyway, you fly into Shanghai, which is very nice, and then you get on a train to the middle of hell, and this area of Foshan is where
Must be.
Whoa, bless you indeed, sir. Second sneeze.
Yeah, he sneezed out a whole pile of faux shan right there. Now, that was funny, Daniel. But anyway, so this place is hell on earth. This is where like all the like a lot of like the automotive aftermarket accessories and shit are made there. Like anything with chrome and all this other shit that's very hazardous, and they just dump the waste right into the rivers there. So literal hell on earth.
Crazy, dude.
They see the sunshine there less than we do in the Cleveland area because not because of weather, but because of smog. Like it's literally the worst place on the world, especially for somebody that gets allergies when you go to places like that.
Yeah.
But,
You don't get allergies there, you get cancer.
so there's, I mean, these are some of the unhealthiest people on the planet.
I'm
whereas
sure.
most Chinese are actually pretty healthy because they walk everywhere and they, eat pretty well. But these people are inhaling carcinogens 365 days out of the year.
Yeah, you might as
So
well work at a coal mine.
that coal mine would
Times
be an
10.
improvement
Yeah.
for them. But
For sure.
so yeah.
Have you guys heard of like this dude invented like it's like an egg of a nuclear reactor, like a portable nuclear reactor that you can plug into your house, and it's supposed to charge the entire house for over 15 years. And you can also take it to an RV or a campsite, and it's like an AI egg that powers your entire house. Some guy started a nuclear reactor, like a portable one.
So is it like out there for sale?
I don't know if it's fully out there for sale, but it was a giant conference or thing he says. Like it's literally like an egg. It's the shape of an egg.
Nuclear egg. We're all Googling it right now.
Yeah.
The Enron egg.
Yes. I was just hearing about it.
They should have a different name for that,
They
right?
Speaking of fucked up shit from the 90s, they should definitely
And he said
rebrand.
he has a- he has a
This is the
proto-
pump and dump egg right here. Right? That's what this is.
He has a prototype in his house, and he says it's been powering his house for the last 6 years of
Enron
clean nuclear energy.
Yeah, well, what they're going to do is they're going to say this works, and then they're going to sell a bunch of them, they're going to sell the stock, and then we're going to be fucked. That's how that works. The Enron egg.
Yeah, I don't know if it's up for sale.
This is
completely yet.
literally January 7th, this article from Forbes.
Is it? Does it actually like?
Fuck you, Google. It knows I'm looking at a new GMC truck. Shot
Yeah,
at
it's
that.
supposed
Get you
to
a Bronco
work.
right there.
I don't know if it's like somewhere you can get anywhere right now.
This almost sounds like that Elizabeth Holmes Theranos scandal
the
here.
fake medical thing.
What if this thing's? You know how like the hoverboards would like blow up and stuff. What if this thing just blows up, dude? The whole neighborhood's gone.
Yeah,
That could be a problem.
gonna end up looking like faux shan China.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to
10 years.
A
That's what it was, 10 years.
micro-nuclear reactor that promises to power your home for 10 years straight.
10 years straight, yeah.
You can cut ties with your electric company. That's yet the company famous for its massive accounting scandal and eventual collapse hasn't made a comeback. The Enron Egg is a hoax from a parody company of the same name.
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah.
I just saw like a
It's
conference
not actually
about it,
real,
and I
right?
was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was like, there's no way this is
On
real.
Monday, a website for Enron Corporation bearing the company's old logo announced an egg-shaped device that supposedly will revolutionize home energy.
This is why you need to
Nuclear,
learn.
you
Well,
can
I
charge-
saw like an
this
actual like,
declared
conference
the
video.
fake-
And I
This
was
is why you
like,
need to learn your history, because if you would have seen the name, it's like, well, they would have been like, this can't be right, dude. No
That's
way.
it. It's time to reban
Yeah.
TikTok.
It's exactly- I didn't see it on TikTok. I actually saw it. I was like scrolling through Instagram.
Instagram, better. Yeah.
And it's just like a video of a guy in a conference. I'm like, this is no way this is real. And it's
So,
just the whole like conference thing he was doing.
Well, I did talk.
Yeah, that's the video I saw.
I did
the
send
one
you
up
the
there.
video of the energy.
A parody product launch video shared on social media.
There we go. Okay, well then I was
This
wrong.
is this is why
fake
social
company
media is dangerous.
executives pacing on stage, clicking a handheld remote
You got
to
trolled.
change
I did
floor
get
to
trolled,
ceiling
yeah.
projections
It was just something I
as
saw.
they
dude.
hype their egg-shaped gadget to fawning audiences. You were a fawning
I am
audience.
very.
Dude, we all were
I
like,
just saw it,
all
like,
right.
This is wild.
This is what you need to do. Okay, so you told us about this egg. We're like, wow, that sounds cool. Let's Google it, right? And then immediately we figure out this is bullshit, right? So 99% of Americans don't take that step to fucking type it into Google
No.
to
I
figure
didn't.
out
I
that.
saw the one thing. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I just
So
never
you're gonna
thought
go
about it
your
ever
whole
again.
life thinking that there's this egg out there that could just save the world.
Not only that, he's gonna think he's oppressed because he never got it.
Yeah,
Like,
and he's gonna go around
God
like, yeah,
damn,
dude.
Because of
I
Puerto
was like-
Rico, Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
they don't have them at
I
any
didn't
of the
even
fucking
think about it.
Walmarts by me.
I literally saw it. I was like, that's pretty cool. And then never thought of it again in my life. And I was like, until right now. I was like, oh, this
like,
doesn't
dude,
bring
have you heard of Enron eggs? Like, no, I lost a lot of money of that in the 90s. Yeah.
So speaking of like Tony Stark like figures, have you guys heard of this company called Anduril?
Oh, you asked me about this earlier. I was like, why?
No, I don't know anything
I'm
about
like,
that.
yeah, that sounds really familiar. Where have I heard that?
Guy's name is the guy's name is Palmer Luckey. How about that name? Sound familiar?
Is he coming out with a product called Watergate?
No, this is not something that. No, so this
dude's a fucking.
That's a weird beard.
I mean, that's a
mustache
cool
thing.
dude.
What is that?
So this guy is a 19-year-old college drop.
He looks like he's 35.
He was. Hold on, stand by.
Okay.
This guy was a 19-year-old college dropout from Long Beach, California. He started a company called Oculus VR. You ever heard of that company?
Is that the one that made the
VR glasses.
It's a VR, yeah.
the VR glasses? Yeah.
Well, as the name suggests, Oculus VR. So this was the company that Meta purchased in, I think, 21 for $2 billion.
Wow.
So that was his his first act as he was dropping out of college was he was fixing iPhone screens and he was rebuilding and created the Oculus system, probably because, jerk off videos or whatever, wanted a more realistic, right?
I'd be right up in that.
I would be too.
Yeah.
So he obviously did pretty well with Oculus to the tune of, I mean, I don't know what his cut was, but it was probably, as founder
Yeah,
creator.
he got
probably
kicked out of
half.
the company. I just read too.
Yeah, he's out. However, he created this company called Anduril. The reason why it's interesting is they just got
Holy shit, a $14 billion startup.
Yeah, they raised $1 billion of it themselves, and then the next 13 billion. But it's interesting one to track here because their first product they're going to release is something that's called the Fury, and it's an autonomous fighter jet. And his client will be us, the U.S. government.
I
will be
believe
the first ones to buy it. So what was that movie with Jamie Foxx?
Stealth.
Stealth.
Yeah.
So this is one of those. Literally, this is a companion jet that flies right next to an F-35 or an F-18 or F-22 or FU, whatever.
Still, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. So here's one fun fact though. It's going to be located right here in Ohio.
Really?
Yeah.
The R&D thing for it, or
all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
What part of Ohio?
It's going to be in Pickaway, so right next to Columbus.
Okay, I don't know where that's at.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's pronounced like it's
This
it's
dude
like PIQU. Yeah.
Dude, this dude is gonna be like have a movie right about him. Dude, oh yeah, I dropped out of college, fixed iPhone screens, and then created VR, and then decided to sell a bunch of shit to the government. Now I'm rich, filthy rich.
As a longtime supporter of Donald Trump, he is poised to become even more powerful in the next years.
How old is he now?
He's 30. He's in his 30s now.
Is he
I
30?
believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why he has that shitty goatee because he can, dude. Because who's gonna say anything to him, right?
Yeah. So that was kind of an interesting thing caught in the news. Yeah, there he is.
That's
great. He gave an interview.
I love
gave
that
an
for him.
exclusive interview yesterday morning, and it's pretty interesting. They're going to employ something like 4,000 people in that area.
Wow.
They're going in not far from where Intel is coming into Ohio as well.
That's
It's good for Ohio.
It's really good.
We're getting a lot of
So
technology.
what's interesting is if you guys catch that interview, it's funny is they said, well, there's a lot of he's a native Californian. He lives in Newport Beach, lives in the same neighborhood as one of my cousins. I don't know if they know each other or not, but he just kind of told an interesting story. He's like, well, your other companies are in California. Did you, there's a ton of aerospace there. Like, why wouldn't you go there? And he's like, well, he says, we looked at that, and he says, there's an immediate need for these products. They have a sick drone.
wow.
They have several like really interesting autonomous products that they're going to be pumping out. Cruise missiles, all different sorts of things. So we were talking earlier where, again, the U.S. government doesn't make anything. They purchase things. Then this would be an example of it. These are the people that build shit. But
Or they
and then after he builds a few of them and he suddenly dies, and then the government owns their patent.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you don't give them your patents, right? Like a Tesla,
Well, he has clearly sold them. He
Yeah.
will clearly sell him everything because there's
He's smart. He wants to. They give you the choice. You can either be rich or you can be dead.
Yeah.
You know, that's your choice. You know what I mean?
Oh, he wants to move up from his comfortable position to Elon level,
Yeah, of
and
course.
this is going to springboard him right
yeah,
there.
that'll put him right there with him.
Now I wonder if he made a deal with was it that computer company Nvidia? Am I pronouncing the name wrong?
Why? What did he say?
Quite possible. Yeah.
Because this company is announced they're making the first world's AI computer, like for purchase for people, like it has the fastest hard drive and all that stuff.
Well, but like, what makes it better? Like, is it like what makes it an AI computer?
Like isn't
a computer like AI anyway?
It's built to actually monitor other AIs.
I don't understand what that means.
It's like designed to like if you're a coder, to make coding your programs easier and faster.
Oh,
so you won't have to instead of spending hours on codes and coding and stuff. You know how
they have a Cortana. Basically, everybody's got Cortana. Basically,
like something like that. You ask Cortana or what's that one AI that everybody uses now online?
GP chat.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that, but 10 times better. Instead of it's literally helps you write code, build software in computers.
Yeah, I just read something about that the other day because somebody they were talking about it, and they were like, "Well, aren't you worried about that taking away jobs and stuff like that?" And he's like, "No, honestly, I think
it doesn't."
Like, having that ability out there allows people to be more creative and
work faster
and think of other things to do.
Do you know who Andrew Yang is? Does anybody know who that guy is?
No.
He ran for president under the Democratic ticket a couple years back when Hillary was going, and obviously Hillary, he couldn't beat that. Whatever. So he would have been honestly, no joke, especially at that time because they would have had to go against Trump, and I wasn't like. I love Trump now, but I was like a little weary of him at first. I thought Andrew would have been a good one because he's a businessman. He's the same reason, by the same reason people like Trump, they like Andrew. But he had a whole theory. He had a UBI thing where he wanted to get rid of, which I thought was a really good theory. He wanted to get rid of all the safety net programs or whatever and give everybody a universal basic income from the government. So they give you like basically just enough money to live. And then if you wanted to live anywhere decent, you'd have to work. And then, but the design base was because he thinks AI is going to come in and take, because there's factories that are becoming fully automated.
Yes.
There's truck drivers that are going to be out of work because they're fully automated self-driving trucks, things like that. So he wanted to come up with a system that will protect those people that are going to be out of work because they can't drive truck anymore. They can't operate a forklift. They can't do these things or whatever.
Yeah, those jobs have been taken.
Yeah, they're going to be taken and you have to do something else. So you give them a basic income that way they could go work at McDonald's or something and still have a decent amount of money coming in and live like the same amount of level. And it was actually going to be more affordable for the general public because they were going to use the safety net programs to fund that. So they were just going to allow people to have just the bare minimum to live, but you have to work to get more. So,
yeah, I mean, I've heard that discussed quite a few times. I don't think that'll actually ever come to fruition. And I don't. Here's the thing, AI. I don't think AI is going to limit. I don't think it's going to take jobs. I think it's actually going to give more jobs. And here's what I mean by that. I wouldn't be doing this podcast with 6 cameras if there wasn't AI. Because I don't have the 3 to 4 hours to edit this podcast and have it ready. So AI isn't taking that. I mean, you could say they're taking a producer's job away, an editor. But as a startup, I would be the producer, and I'm the producer and editor. So,
but you can only
have taking a job. It's only allowing me to do it better.
And faster.
And way faster. Correct. Right? And if it gets to, and obviously there's limitations. Like I can't have random video cuts added in certain ways and stuff like that if I didn't record it. And that's where an editor comes in. So the idea is that AI is going to help people get into these certain areas where they're growing, they're allowing to be more creative, and then they're going to have to reach out to other people. Give you one more quick example, like logos and T-shirt designs that everybody can find on guysnight.com. I had AI create the photos, but like when AI creates a photo or image, I don't know if you've ever done anything like that. It'll add like extra fingers. It'll put like, weird stuff.
The original logo with the extra legs.
Yeah. Or like it'll have like a guy shooting a bow and arrow, except he'll be like this, except the bow will be pointed that way and the arrow will be like way up in the corner. Like because AI is not quite smart enough to really do all of that yet. So what do? I create a photo that's similar to what I want through AI, and then I reach out to somebody who's, off of Fiverr that does Photoshop and Adobe Photoshop and stuff like that, and then he takes what that is, and then he, bada-boom, fixes it, makes it look like a regular photo for like $10. So like he's still making some side money. Whereas if I would have called him originally and said, hey, I need a photo that looks like this, he might have to render me 25 to 30 photos before I'm like, yep, that's the one.
The part where I think it is going to hurt the economy in a negative way is it's unavoidable. It's going to happen. So I'm not saying whether it's good or bad or whatever, but is your manufacturing and your like unskilled labor jobs, like those are the ones that are going to be taken from AI. And here's this issue. So now you have a huge, like, let's just say all the steel mills are no longer have employees. Like everybody, they have, the employee, instead of having 5,000 people that work in Timken, you have 200. That's a big problem. That's a huge problem. What are you going to do? Go look at the towns in near Wheeling when they stopped coal mining down there, and look at what those towns look like.
Of course,
they look like shit,
abandoned.
Yeah,
but that's also assuming that AI is going to get to the point where it's going to take over all of those things. And I'm not saying that we don't even know the potential of AI right now.
I can tell you
it's early onset now.
I feel like we low-key do know the potential of AI. It's just not going to get to that point for a very long time.
I can tell you,
but that's not even necessarily true, because if you have AI is supposed to be super intelligent. Why wouldn't it allow it to create and code itself and to be in a more effective term?
So I don't think anyone should make anything smarter than themselves. I hope that we don't get to that point.
Well,
because
okay, now
we will.
That's subjective.
That's not fair.
That's
you didn't even
subjective.
know what the freaking IQ test stood for.
yeah. Well, and you're buying the Enron egg, dude.
Immediate disqualification.
I'm not going to live that one down for a while.
Bro, I'm gonna randomly send him like links
to
buy
Yeah, we found it.
Yeah, you're right. It is real. It's
Available on guysnightpodcast.com.
Yeah, only $12,000. Here's the link.
Yes. Oh, that's how we're gonna. Find
They're on back order, though.
That's how we're gonna back order indefinitely.
Yeah,
But,
you'll get it when they come into stock, though. For sure. All sales final. Yeah.
I don't know that we could ever create anything that's smarter than us, but we can absolutely create things that can do certain things better than us.
Way better.
And that's the thing about AI. I know a couple of us in the room have probably read a book called Who Moved My Cheese? Like it's a cheesy old sales book, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of the way of the world. Like I think this isn't even ancient history, but we had this thing called the .com bubble or .com bust that just happened 15 years ago. Right. So you had all these amazing tech jobs that were created in this crazy economy, and all you had to do is just register a .com, and then, the interwebs did their thing, and then all of a sudden, people were millionaires. And then when, technology and knowledge caught up with that, it went away, because people are like, dude, it's a fucking website. Like I can go to GoDaddy and make that thing tomorrow morning. I don't need this anymore. Right.
Well, and the industry got super saturated with all those too.
And so that's essentially, I think, the potential bust coming is that, there is now AI that's coded to write code. You could literally just speak to it in a microphone, and that absolutely changed that. It takes away the job of a very simple software engineer who knows a little bit of programming to do a basic task. So that person's going to have to go find their cheese somewhere else. They're going to have to find something else to do. But the AI is not going to replace a plumber. AI is not going to replace a neurologist or an anesthesiologist or a dentist or somebody to install Govee lights on my house.
Yeah. But if they did, they did find a freaking
got a
AI
couple
robot
customers
to do that.
Again, Skynet, for sure.
What?
Skynet? You never watched Terminator?
No.
That's crazy.
You've never watched the
You've
Terminator?
never watched
What?
Terminator?
Nope.
Wow,
Really?
that's actually insane.
Are you fucking with us?
That's actually the wildest thing I've ever come out of your
It's
mouth.
so funny too, because it
Terminator-
was popular when I was a kid, but for whatever reason, I was like, fucking stupid.
Mental
You know what's weird? I
block
can
on it?
never find Terminator 1 anywhere. Like, there's always Terminator 2 and 3, but Terminator 1 I can't find anywhere on Netflix or anything
All
like
right,
that.
hey, quick, a little information
on Terminator 1?
about AI. Okay, AI right now they're thinking by the year 2030 the AI, anything that's made by AI or companies that use AI, it's going to be worth $515 billion.
So hold on a second. Hold on.
We're now an AI company now.
Was that 2030 or 3002?
2030.
Are you sure? How do I know any of this is fact?
It does say 2030. Yeah.
How did you read that?
Yeah, he's
How did you read
he's
that?
fucking with you.
Have you been reading that for like 30 minutes? Like,
Oh my god! more like
have you
5
been-
minutes.
like,
I'm just reading. I'm just looking at the. I'm just looking at AI
AI.
industry overviews.
It's like that scene in A Beautiful Mind with the chalkboard.
You guys are all fucking killing me.
Like I just feel like Evan gets really quiet when and it's probably because he's like memorizing like one sentence out of like.
I am.
He's
So-
like,
Trying to pronounce the word job for the next 5 minutes.
2030.
We got to rewind back to the Terminator here.
Have you
just-
not
just
seen
for a
Terminator?
minute.
Like Terminator 1 is like one of the best movies ever.
No,
Isn't it
okay.
just called Terminator?
Yeah, just Terminator. Well, there's
never
Terminator 1,
seen
2,
any
3.
of
And
those?
technically there's 4 Terminators now, right?
So here's
Five.
the thing about
Dark
that
Horizon.
movie. Like I'm the same way. Like there's certain movies where it's like fucking Arnold, whatever. Like this is fucking stupid. Like all the Rambo movies. Yeah, he shows up, fucking blows everybody up.
Yeah, I've watched one
eats
Rambo
dinner,
movie,
whatever. Yeah, like so. But here's
Rocky watched all of Rockies though.
okay, and yeah, 'cause
Rockies
that's,
are great.
That's real.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
but
yeah,
so-
that's real. That happened.
That's real.
I met Carl Weathers once. It was great.
That's awesome.
But
Apollo.
here's the thing about the Terminator movies is that there is like, especially now with now our knowledge of AI systems is like caught up to like the Terminator movies. It's that art imitating art imitating life kind of thing there.
Yeah.
You can use that for a short. Yeah. But anyway, so if you go back and you watch them now, it's like, okay, shit, some of this stuff like
possible.
sort of checks out. Like the movie was just far ahead of its time.
Oh yeah, 30
And
years.
Oh, yeah.
way ahead. And then so when you start looking at this and they start going back and forth in time explaining how they even got the technology to create the things they did, the technology came from the future somehow. Like it is wacky.
Do you know what it's
have
about,
to-
at least? Do you know what Terminator is like about?
No.
It's literally about an AI system that started building robots, and then the AI system was like, all right, well, now I'm going to not work for the human race at all. And when they made all the soldiers, they made them all like against humans. Now all the robots are killing humans.
Okay, wait. So let's switch gears here. Have
There's
you
like
seen
30 different movies like that.
Have you seen the
Right.
movie Eagle Eye?
Oh yeah, I love that movie too.
Eagle Eye?
Yeah,
Eagle Eye.
it's the one with the young actor from
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
LaBeouf.
Oh, I have not seen that.
He
It's-
plays
yeah.
2 roles in that movie. He plays himself and he plays his twin brother.
Yep, correct.
Okay, you should watch that movie.
That's a
And
good
if you,
movie.
if
Eagle Eye was a
you-
good one.
If you end up liking that, that would be like it's not connected to the Terminator movies
It's like a
at
PG
all.
version.
But what happens in this is that the AI decides that, okay, it's time to reset the U.S. government
Correct.
here.
Oh,
and
really?
it does it all with hacking machines and people and
Oh, I
Kind of
love
like
it.
iRobot.
like that.
iRobot's another good movie.
My
that does
favorite
that.
point in that movie is when the AI sends the Shia LaBeouf character a bunch of military grade weapons in his apartment. He's like, what
So
the
to
fuck?
cue it is the movie. We don't want to take away too much of it. Don't want to spoil too much
Yeah.
of it. But
It's a
it
good
is
movie.
one that you're kind of, as it's starting, you're like, all right, this is weird. And then it's okay. I hope you fastened your seatbelt. You know when you get going in the car and you don't have your seatbelt on and you start, then it's locked and
Yeah.
you can't get it, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh fuck it, we're gonna do it this way. That's what happens in this movie. Like
It's usually when the cops
You
behind
like
me.
watch them and then you think about what's going on now. It's like, darn, this is actually possible.
Yeah.
So this movie, if you can get on board with it, because it does have a lot of action, it's fun, it's decent. There's a couple hot chicks in it, so
Perfect.
there's some cool stuff going on.
iRobot's
But yeah,
a really good movie, too.
the scene as it starts for him is he shows up at home and his apartment is stacked like floor to ceiling with explosives and weapons and all this shit in there. And then the AI calls him and says, all right, the FBI is on the way to your house.
You got 5 minutes.
You have 30 seconds to jump out the window and do this, or you're going to be arrested. And, he thinks it's a
This
crank
sounds more
phone call.
familiar the more you speak about it. Was there a scene where he's like at the ATM and like he's
Oh,
he's
it's
filled
a-
ATM?
yeah,
and
it's
he's
but-
filled with money out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I have to watch it again.
Yeah.
I heard
It's
this
a
is
good
really
movie.
freaking good
As
movie.
a kid, the movie's not that old.
It's
there.
from 2008.
Yeah, I was kind of young during 2008.
I was trying to figure
It's
out.
high school graduation for me.
I think I was like 16.
I was trying to find out if this is the movie that I was looking for, Ex Machina. Have you ever seen that?
That movie's a trip too.
Is that the one where they're on that private island, kind of?
They're
and
in
he's
the,
like living with the dude that's like trying to have him do the Turing test with that robot.
That's the and he ends up she makes him fall in love with her,
And then he leaves her there?
She leaves
Yeah.
She leaves
That's
him
a
there.
fucking great movie.
That's a good one.
What is it called?
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Ex Machina is what it's called.
Whatever. I'm an American. I say Machina.
It's an American show.
I know.
Have you guys seen the movie In Time?
Yes.
Oh, that's a fantastic
Dude,
movie.
talk about like a futuristic movie type of thing that really makes you think. Yeah, with Justin Timberlake's in it. But also ton of really bad like quips in there about like time references. Like because basically the movie
Time is their money. Or
time is their money.
Yes.
Yeah, where they, currency. And that's how long you have to live. And then if you don't, you run out of time to pay, then you're dead. So and then it has like which I think is super relatable to right now because it has like the rich people that have like millions of years to live.
Yeah,
they all live in a certain area, and all the shitty people that have like nothing, they keep them kind of poor or whatever.
Yeah.
Zones. Yeah, they're divided.
That's a great movie. I haven't seen that in a while. Actually.
Great movie.
I have 4 words in relation to this movie that are super important. Super, super important. Amanda Seyfried, Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, those are both in that movie, right?
They're his girlfriend
and his mom, right? His mom is smoking hot.
I'm not.
You stop aging at like you stop aging at like
25.
25. Yeah. So his mom's like 25 years old. She's hot.
I do remember that. That was a great.
Which one was his mom? Was the girlfriend was Olivia Wilde, right?
The mom was Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde. She's the one who played on that. You guys ever watch that sitcom House?
Was she in House? I never watched it.
She's in House MD. She was
I remember the show.
Yeah, I didn't watch it much either, but I remember it.
But she was in, I think.
Wasn't she in Tron too, or no?
Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder, man. Talk about movies you can't make.
Have you not seen that movie though? Have you seen Please tell me you see Tropic Thunder.
I've watched I think I've watched like half of it. Like,
bro, how do you watch half of it and stop?
I didn't think it was that funny.
He falls asleep.
Yeah,
he does. You do fall asleep during movies, though.
No, I don't. I'm a movie guy. I watch. I can
Not-
watch.
You never seen Terminator? How do you even call yourself a movie guy?
Not with your wife sending me snaps of you passed out on the couch.
We were watching the Mr. Beast games. That wasn't an actual movie.
Yeah.
That's different.
I fall asleep in movies I don't want to watch.
Yeah. Like sometimes, like here's the thing. Like you guys don't understand this, but when you're married, all right, there's like
we don't.
There's like watching, like there's nothing better, first of all, as a man, is being able to take a nap when the fuck you want.
Because they don't like you taking naps.
Yeah, like, and I don't. When I say when you want, I mean when your body wants to take a nap. Like,
True.
Your body reacts 100% different if you just go to sleep when it wants to, versus like 2 o'clock in the afternoon taking a bunch of energy drinks to fight through the end of the day and then getting home and crashing. Take a 25, 30 minute, maybe an hour nap at 2 o'clock, and you are like on top of the world after that, right? So anyhow, where that's going. My wife, if we're sitting on the couch and I'm like dozing off at 8 o'clock at night, like just let me fucking doze off. In fact, not only let me doze off, but if I do doze off, definitely don't fucking wake me up. Just go to bed. And if I wake up at 2 in the morning and I feel like going back up to bed, then I will. But if I don't, just leave me be.
She wants the
Never
cuddles.
happened.
She
Never
wants the
happened.
cuddles.
Nothing pisses a woman off more than a sleeping man, dude. That's a thing.
It's true. Literally,
It's fucking true.
She'll be like, "Are you sleeping?" I'm kind of.
Hey, are you watching this?
Should we just
Not
go,
anymore.
Should we just go to bed now? I was like, no, I'm comfortable on the couch. Like I'm fine. I'll stay awake. I'm watching it.
The couch, falling asleep on the couch is somewhat better than my bed sometimes.
I was like, I'm fine.
It is.
She's like,
That's
if you're gonna
men's
fall
thing.
asleep, then and not rub my shoulders or whatever, like then we're going to bed. And I'm like, what?
All right,
Now I have to go upstairs, take a shower, brush
her
my
shoulders.
teeth. And it's gonna be 2 hours before I go to bed.
After
But I
the
could
shower,
just
you
fall
wake up.
asleep right now.
right now, be fine. Yeah.
So anyhow, that was a night where I was like, oh, I'm taking advantage of this.
That's what my wife's like. Can we watch that selling the house shows or whatever, the Kardashians? I'm like, yeah, put that on, whatever.
Yes.
I'll watch it with you. You know,
Yeah, dude, you gotta get that fucking time in, dude. A man needs the nap, bro.
I 100% agree.
So one movie I did watch this week, and I was gonna look up the guy's name because I remember. Have you seen that the Netflix documentary that just came out called "Don't Die"?
No.
I saw you Googling it, but yeah.
Dude, it is fucking nuts.
Isn't that dude that's investing all that money into like not dying?
Yeah, did I start to tell you about that?
Yeah,
or something at the gym?
I
the other
started
night?
looking at it too. I started looking into it.
Oh, you're talking about the guy who he takes his own son's blood And he
yeah.
fucking-
God, that's so
yeah.
funny. That's like they talk about that in the movie, and they're like, all these people freaked out because basically they took the dad, the oldest man, his son is the guy who's doing this crazy routine, and then the main character's son is also doing it. So they do like a grandpa, father, son thing where like the oldest gets the grandpa got the son's the dad's not blood, but
spit it out already.
what's the
stem cells or
what
whatever.
is the stuff they pull out of you?
White
like-
blood cells.
No,
red
they're
blood
all
cells?
over the place right now.
Stem cells.
Plasma.
Plasma, thank you. And then the dad gets the son's plasma, and it's like supposedly it's supposed to help you live longer. Anyhow,
And watch you like. I hope it doesn't happen soon, but watch you get hit by like a truck or
I
something.
know we talked about that, like some crazy fucking shit. So this guy lives this crazy life where he goes to bed every day at 8:00, no matter what. Wakes up every morning at 4:30. Has like this ridiculous regiment where like he could take like up to 150 pills a day. Has these incredible diet that he has to take at certain points, and it's all based off of like what your body needs. Like your liver might need this, but your lungs need this, and all this different things. So like his complete diet's built up all around this.
Is he a doctor or where's he getting
No,
this?
so he is
just a rich
Venmo.
dude.
He created Venmo.
Oh,
No, was it Venmo or what's the other cash pay app?
Cash App?
Cash App,
I think,
PayPal.
I think it was Venmo. Anyhow, he created Venmo, sold his company. Now he's just a fucking millionaire that does this. It's called the blueprint. What is this blueprint to live longer?
Yep.
Anyhow, so there's all these different measures and metrics that he like tests on a daily basis that tell you like your age and how fast you're aging, right? So when he first started this, he was aging like 5 years to 1. He was obese, if I'm not mistaken, like unhealthy, all these different things. Like just depressive, all this stuff. So he starts doing this now. Like he ages at like 0.69 per year.
See,
So like for instance, for you, a year for you is a year for you. You age a year, right?
Yeah.
He's only 6.9 months old.
it's like that.
He's
That
slowed down his aging by basically what is that 5 months a year, 4 or 5 months a year. So
What the heck?
It's
Yeah.
like wins above replacement, but for aging.
yeah,
But there's a science that goes that also that I was watching that goes against what he's doing because there was a scientist talking about how your genetic makeup. We all have a built-in clock. No matter what we do to our bodies, our genetic clock is eventually going to wear out.
Well,
So
that's what he's saying. Is that you're slowing down that clock.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, but they said, but the scientist was talking about this guy that you're talking about. That he's wasting all this money, all this time, unless there's a way to grow back the cells that we lose, not slow them down, but grow them back completely. There's no point of what he's doing. The scientist was saying.
Are they
that's where he
saying-
starts getting into like the phase 2 and phase 3 of this blueprint. Like there's like they call it like steps or phases or whatever, and like one of them's like gene therapy and cell regrowth or whatever.
Here's the thing.
And that's so hold on. So this has to be done in a foreign country. I cannot remember the life of me.
Taiwan.
So probably Tijuana over in Mexico.
It's
That's
like
where they do a lot of-
Honduras or something like that. No. There's this one. I think it's in Honduras, but there's this one spot in Honduras where you can essentially go.
That's where you should trust shit from is Honduras.
Well,
for
so
sure.
no, there's actually Americans there, but
Okay.
you can be here and you can essentially practice any medicine that you want without any guidelines or oversight.
Oh Jesus!
That sounds like a recipe for great things. Yeah.
I mean, but the guys that are there are talking about like, well, here, I mean, you can practice on animals for 100 fucking years before somebody lets you practice on a human.
That's fair, yeah.
Or people come here knowing that they're complete. It's great for people that
100%
are like
test
stage 4
subject.
cancer or whatever like that. Because why not? Like you have a chance to make humanity better. But anyhow, he's done like that process of it now. And here's the thing. When people say like, oh, it goes against this, he's wasting his money and things, all these different points of view. He's, I don't know, 50 years old. He's got a 6-pack. His skin looks fucking great. He's happy. He's got a great relationship with his kids. He's got this schedule that he keeps on a day-to-day basis. and he's still making money. So ultimately, when you look at all that, sounds like he's living a pretty fucking good life.
Well, that was gonna be what I was gonna say. Is like when you spend so much time obsessing over not dying, how much time are you wasting not living? Not living.
So and that's brought up in there. Like people bring that up all the time. And he's like, but here's the thing, like he's like, I go rock climbing, I go backpacking with my son, like because there's like certain exercise regimens that he has to follow. There's all these different things. He's like, I love my life. Like I get to do all this stuff. I
don't know that yeah, he could do that now, which he could do that now anyways if he wasn't doing all that stuff. Like if he was just in good shape. Like I know a lot of 50-year-olds that are in great shape that don't do any of that. That can still rock climb, they still backpack, that have good relationships with their kids and their wife and that make good money or whatever. But I'm curious to see what happens when he's 80, when he's 90. Like to me, I don't know if I necessarily want to live past 80 or 90 years old. Like if I'm not cognizant, if I have to be helped on and off the bathroom, if I live in a nursing home, I don't want that. So like to me, it's more about quality over quantity. I'd rather live my life the way it is. And if I died at 60 or 70 but lived a really good full life that I was proud of, then I'm fine with that.
Well, and I get that. And we had Austin on last week. My brother-in-law is a financial advisor, and he talked about, he's like, man, people need to be able to retire from age 25 to 40. He's like, because they slave their way through 40s and 50s, and then by the time they do get to retire in their 60s or 70s, like all the stuff that they saved their whole life for, they were super frugal about, they did all these different things, they made all the right investments. Now they're 75 years old and they can't be on a plane for longer than 45 minutes. They can't stand in line at an amusement park with their family. They can't go on a car road trip. And it's like, it kind of goes to that same thing. Like, yeah, you can say like, I don't mind if my life's short, I'm going to live it now. But if there's a way that I could live, if I could be 100 years old and feel like I'm 55 or 60, like I would do that.
Yeah, that's fine. But I don't think that's realistic though.
We don't know. So the other aspect of this guy is he's like the good news is you don't have to do what I'm doing because I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So like if there's anything that beneficial that comes out of this entire process, then everybody gets to be a part of that.
Yeah, the next generation
take advantage of that. Like he's like, for instance, he says in the movie, he's like, I'm not trying to live to 300 years old. He's like, but what if instead of getting all wrinkly and all this stuff and looking like you're 90 years old, you could look like you're 60 years old? Mm-hmm. Like, and what if it was something as far as that came out of this over the course of the next 10 years where we realized if you do this one thing from the time you're 25 or 30 on, then that would help you do that. Why would you say no to that? You wouldn't. He's like, so I'm the one investing the money, the time, and everything else.
Well, Social Security would be screwed. I'll tell you that right now.
It'll be gone.
Yeah. No. My thing too, like even for me, personally, I know I do a lot of things now that are gonna affect my life later. Even just the way I train and stuff. Like I train heavy and hard, so I know it's rough on my joints. I've had 3 major surgeries already, and I'm 35 years old. So, you know what I mean? So like athletes and things like that put their body through a lot. I wonder if they would, I mean, maybe it would be a good thing. Maybe you could, still move around or whatever. I also don't want to be like necessarily like you said, 80 years old in a wheelchair, can't walk or whatever, something like that. Like, that just doesn't seem appealing, Well,
no, but that's going to happen to you just because of the way you're training.
I'm fucked.
80
for
years
sure.
old, dude.
I'm
You're going to be, you know what I mean? But here, going back into that again, look at all the stuff that people are doing now that they weren't even doing 5 years ago.
Sure.
Ice plunges, saunas,
which
massages.
I do all those things.
Right, because you're trying to do these different things, different ways that you're meal prepping, different
That's fair.
things.
Yeah, that's fair.
We were talking about peptides earlier. Like these are all things that we're like, I want to stay in my peak physical ability longer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's 100%.
If they made a fucking pill that was like Adderall, except it wasn't Adderall, like I would be taking that shit every day because Adderall was
it's amazing.
Fucking,
dude.
it's the greatest thing ever, dude.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was trying to get my wife to watch the movie Limitless.
That's a great movie.
Dude,
yeah,
That's a
good one.
That's legit how Adderall is.
100%.
TV show, that too.
Yeah.
I haven't done like very many experimental drugs, right? Like I've smoked pot, I've done steroids, and I've taken Adderall, and that is about it. Like I haven't done the mushrooms, I haven't done anything like that. And Adderall is, if it's anything like, if that's what cocaine is like, it's a good thing that
It's
I don't.
exactly like that.
Oh, dude, I do. That's why I don't do cocaine.
It's exactly
for sure. I would
like
be.
that, dude.
I would do it every day.
Cocaine's way worse though because you gotta fucking snort it and you got all the other side effects of it.
That sounds horrible.
It's exactly like that, dude.
Dude.
So,
it's
so
unreal.
Brian Johnson is the world's most measured human.
Yes, that's him.
Sold his company Braintree Venmo to PayPal for $800 million in
Oh.
2013. Though,
Dude, he did an interview with Derek, More Plates, More Dates guy.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, they talked about a lot of stuff on there that was interesting. And actually, he's very, very intelligent. Too.
Yeah.
And he's run all these studies and stuff. And this is blowing my mind because I didn't realize that was the same guy. They were talking about like growth hormone. They were talking about like performance enhancement drugs in bodybuilding and which ones are good and which ones are not or whatever. And like things that are net negatives and net positives for your lifespan or whatever. Super interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, the guy's intelligent as fuck. He's just got a whole lab and doctor's office in his fucking house.
If you ever want to listen to anything good, listen to that interview between him and
I will.
Derek.
Yeah, I'll
and
listen to this
because
week.
Derek is like a huge nerd too, and so
Yeah.
is he. So it's like really good to hear him talk shit out.
All right, go back to that. Sorry, Dave.
Sorry, I cut you off.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
You were talking about who he was. He sold Venmo, created this, sold it for how much? 800 million.
800 million.
So he's spending, I think, 2 million a year is what they said to keep his lifestyle up.
That's
But
crazy.
If you're
He's,
making more than $2 million a year, probably the documentary is worth more than that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, he's well, documentary is never going to be worth more than 800 million, but
no. I mean, more than $2 million a year, so he probably gets like royalties on
I
that.
don't,
maybe?
probably not anywhere near that. That's not at that rate, but he's worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 billion nowadays through all of his other ventures. So I tend to think he's going to be okay.
he's going to be just
do you-
fine.
do you
Unless he lives to be 200, then he might be fucked.
He'll be only worth $1 billion by that time.
Do you think he's-
inflation?
Do you think he's profiting off of the
Yes.
experiments? Right, like he's selling this information to people. Like he's got to be doing that, right?
So they talk about during the show, like some of the things that people were complaining. Like his first product they released was like Blueprint olive oil, and it was like supposedly this great olive oil, and everyone's like, it's fucking olive oil. Like you could go to Italy and get olive oil. That's the best fucking olive oil, the most organic, the most healthiest. It's just fucking olive oil.
Yeah.
So like there is some aspect to that
He's
where they're like
capitalizing
he's
on it.
starting to capitalize on it. He's huge on social media, I guess. All this other stuff like that. He spends a lot of time filming and doing that.
I'm sure he's making some money on some interviews.
But
and
I mean,
stuff.
at the same point in time, like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure.
Like, I mean, if you know what I mean, it's like
ROI, you know?
yeah, exactly. If somebody's willing to pay you or for information and things like that, you take advantage of it.
I would.
Can't help it. Like people get mad for people that get rich off stuff, and it's like, fucking, you're the one watching TikTok for 4 fucking hours a day,
Dude.
Of course, it's $100 billion corporation.
I think people actually like they should capitalize on their information. Like I'm guilty of that on my own, like from training and stuff. Like, I get so many people hit me up like, "Hey, can you, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And I always answer everybody's questions for them or whatever. But I like even my wife is like, you need to like not spend as much time helping these people. Like give them basic answers, but like, hey, if you want my help creating a diet or a training plan, like hire me as a coach type of thing. you
Well,
know?
not only that, but what you should do, like especially now, and if you eventually create your own show one time, but like on the workouts, like, hey, you want to get the answers to? We're live every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And then grow that way, and then you create a name for yourself. So then when you start doing a weekly show or something on your own, where you're like, hey, I'm here to help or whatever.
Yeah. It helped me, but
That's
help
the way.
you.
That's the way to monetize it, because you're right. Like you have that information and that you share that with them while you're sitting there working out.
Sure.
When that could be one extra viewer who then tells one extra friend to view, and then like you grow that brand.
Should have like a
in that way.
light and then a pro. Like,
Yeah.
so the light answer is this, so you just get to try it out. And, But then if you enroll in the pro version, you get this.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think
Software.
about keto? It sucks. If you want my full explanation, you can hire me as a coach. Yeah,
That's
there you go.
exactly.
works,
That's
yeah.
exactly.
100%.
Like, you
Yeah,
have to be
you're
in
right.
the habit of doing that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you just become a fountain of.
Dude, I do, and
information for
I'm
free.
guilty of it because I love helping people,
Yeah,
and I
sure.
love what I do. You know what I mean? And so, like, people hit me up, and it'd be friends or whatever too. They're like, "Hey, what do you think about this? Or have you heard about this?" Especially when it comes to PEDs. Like, I get a ton of people, and then I wrestle with this like moral compass thing of like, man, I'd rather give them the right information so they don't fuck themselves up, but then at the same time, like, I don't really want to give that out for free because it's like that's one thing where I'm very unique as other people is like I really understand the pharmacology of stuff. So And the internet is not good for that. So the internet, you get 5 different answers when you say, I want to
Dude,
take
the internet
this
is
or
so
whatever.
tough. Anytime that I've done any kind of research on PEDs, like you just get bogged down by information because it all contradicts each other.
Yeah.
And the other thing is too, like obviously PEDs aren't something that are like social media friendly where they like want to share the correct information. So you get like these 3 jackasses that tell you, oh, you're gonna die if you do this, this, and this.
Correct.
And then you get one guy who's like, actually, is a fucking,
That's where like the best thing is to learn reputable sources of information and then listen to their take and then also combine that with your own research.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? It's almost like trying to figure out a political conflict, right? Like you watch CNN and then you watch Fox and then you figure out the facts and you decide for yourself what it is.
Unless you want an egg reactor.
Yeah,
You don't do any of that.
Yeah.
Unless you want egg.
Well, but see, that's what we all did. The first thing we all did is
Exactly.
like, wait, we got to find out about this egg reactor.
Yeah.
And if I would have went onto Google and it said like you could buy it for $19,900, I'd be like, oh shit, I could
Shit,
buy
look at
it.
this, yeah. Enron
So then
Egg,
I'd
dude.
be like, all right. Then I would go in there and I'd search YouTube next. I'd go from Google to YouTube, and then on YouTube I'd look for video reviews and things like that. Like there's like that certain path that you follow along, or you just tell everybody that the Enron Egg.
Enron Egg.
Enron Egg.
Enron Egg. Yeah.
Enron
Eggnog?
Egg.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was the best. That was the best troll ever. To the name, I was like, dude, I saw that. I'm like, man, they got to change that name.
Yeah.
Dude. There's no way that can be real.
The best part was here's the video.
It's like, am I
that is
reading that right?
A parody of an actual demonstration of a product where a guy walks around pretending to flip the screen, and I was like, God, this is like fucking telling you, like,
is so
basically, we
funny.
got your ass, bro.
Yeah, we got you good. But yeah, no. When it comes to that stuff, like it's I think, and that's the key with almost anything is like you have to find the reputable people and the reputable sources. A lot of people just type stuff into Google. A lot of times, especially like medical stuff or whatever, if I'm really researching, I'll go to Google Scholar and I'll start looking at actual research case studies.
Yeah.
And then I'll dig into like not only what the case study was, but like what were the parameters of the study? You know, like how did they do this? How was it facilitated? Does it make sense? Because a lot of times people do studies, but it's like a sample size of 10 people, and you're like, oh, cool. Yeah. A Harvard study shows this. Well, they tested 10 people. Is that really a good sample size?
Yeah,
No.
like, yeah, there's a lot of those tests out there that are
10
very scandalous.
Yeah, 10 liberal college kids from whatever say that Biden's the guy. You know, it's like, no, it's not, you know.
Awesome. All right, well, anybody got anything else tonight? No. Yeah, we started a little bit late. It's already 10:30, and I think we're going to go live tomorrow morning, so I want to make sure we call it up. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for everybody for being here, and tomorrow's the inauguration day, so when this goes live, hopefully we're all still alive.
What times that start tomorrow, the inauguration?
I think it's at noon.
Noon? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
so
doesn't interfere with the Ohio State game.
No,
That's good.
no. Ohio State, yeah, that's tomorrow night, 7:30.
Buckeyes, baby.
You guys all rooting for Notre Dame, right?
Fuck them. National champions, Ohio State Buckeyes.
What's the money line on that game right now?
Parlays, where they at?
What are you gonna parlay on that fucking?
I could
one
actually,
game?
I could throw $1,000 in.
1,000?
Whoa, big shooter! The fuck?
Have you considered investing in a podcast?
Yeah, hold on. National.
Yeah, I'll
let's look
take
at
your
national
$1,000 and fucking. We'll just say that you've had it and lost.
championship. Money line.
Start putting some money away towards those Enron eggs.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say right now, I would prefer my Enron eggs over Easy,
Yeah.
please.
Ohio State's laying 8.5.
Wow.
So they're giving us 8.5 points. Or we're given 8.5 points. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So we should-
You're favored by 8.5.
Yeah,
On
we're
a-
favored. Yeah, we're
There
favored.
is one serious note here. You know, I know in the last episode we talked about the fires out in California, which is a very serious topic, obviously, but there is an issue though. Because I was looking through some reports and I saw like some celebrities that lost their homes. So Mel Gibson,
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins, James Woods,
Diddy?
Ricky Lake. Diddy's home long gone.
Oh,
He's not
but
going to eat it anyway.
here's
yeah, but like all the evidence. There's probably some stuff missing.
here's where we've got
Is Diddy's home seriously burned down?
no.
Oh, I was gonna
No,
say.
I just made that up.
Yeah.
But, but I do want to say that Kate Beckinsale's home burned down, and
If she needs a place
Kate-
to stay,
Kate, I have room for you. In Ohio. but also Paris Hilton, and I did see your sex tape, so you can come too.
I do not have room for Paris Hilton in this house or Medina County, frankly. You just keep her away.
No.
She could eat those hearty burgers somewhere else.
Well,
we got one right
We do
there,
have we've got a Hardee's here, so we can.
Yeah, don't eat there.
Anna Ferris, you can come too. So
I heard. I think I saw today it was over 50%, maybe 60%.
So for the Malibu Palisades fire, 50% contained. They've lost 5,000 structures, 10 people dead.
Was there anything substantiating those reports of people lighting fires and stuff? Or
Yes, actual videos of them lighting.
Really?
Yeah.
videos.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up.
They don't.
Not the starting point, but they've been continuing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't.
Why? What's the motivation behind that?
Well, they're fucking weird. They just
Want to cause problems?
Actually, you know Sarah, the girl that came over during Thanksgiving and stuff, helped us, whatever.
Of course.
She went on a mission to LA, and she was there during that whole time. And I think there was like a church that lit on fire. She was at the church before it was on fire. There's a picture of them all at that church, and then like the next few days later, it's on fire.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's insane.
Maybe
So
they
they-
can light Skid Row on fire. That'd be
They
great.
they don't have a. They don't. Yeah, what's funny is they were talking about all the. The convicts that are coming out of the prison to help with the firefighting. It's like I was thinking, well, shit. I mean, they're giving all these benefits and everything to the homeless. They should give them some shovels and jackets and send them up to the lines.
Hell yeah.
So they haven't announced a cause of the Palisades / Malibu fire, but there is some interesting video that they believe they isolated the cause of the Eaton Canyon fire, and everybody's talking about Malibu and Palisades because of all the celebs, the people I just mentioned. The average home price is up in that area is $3.5 million. Now, the most expensive home ever sold is in that area. It wasn't destroyed, but there's $210 million homes, there's $190 million homes, but they did lose a $125 million home that was in a TV show. But when you talk about Eaton Canyon, so this is an area that's in the hills above Pasadena. It's all sad, but this one in particular, 10,000 structures are gone, 17 people dead there.
Jesus.
This is a historic Hispanic and Black neighborhood. Like, this is where the poor people of LA lived, and their average home price is $1.1 million. Like, there's some multi-million dollar homes. There's also $800,000 and $900,000, $700,000 homes, shacks like that. You have,
of course,
extended family living in. Those areas there, I mean, these are the people that had their insurance canceled. These are the people that I was talking with a guy who's an insurance adjuster out there that I'm trying to go spend some time with when I go out there with him. And I think he's going to get it approved. But what he was telling me on the phone is that because he's already out, like, people are making claims, and everybody knows how insurance works, right? You're insured up to this value. Here you go. And the first line that the insurance company says is, well, we can afford to cash you out with a check right now so that you can go, and they'll come up with a figure. So $1 million home, $1 million policy, they're saying, okay, well, we can write you a check for $490,000 today if you want to settle on that. Your other option is you can move back in your house at some point during 2027. That's the projected dates they're talking about right now for these homes.
And that's if these insurance companies don't go bankrupt. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. So let's say you're insured, right? And then too many people.
That's a whole other, we had a whole discussion about that. Right. That's a whole other part of the equation here. But so just assuming solvency, like, because of course they know what they can write checks for today, right now. Right. But
which is why they're obviously trying to settle.
Right. So now Mel Gibson's got 17 other homes. He's got, and then,
Yeah, he'll probably just wait, right? Like, why wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, he'll absolutely wait it out. Paris Hilton, she can come stay with me, So these people have options, but
the regular people are the ones that don't, though.
The people in Altadena, this is all they have.
Well, and this is where you saw that last press conference with Gavin Newsom, where he's like getting all excited about the
property speculators coming
land, like, and it's like, dude, what the fuck, bro? And he's talking about Maui and Hawaii governor. And I'm like, Those people are still homeless, dude. Dude, those guys haven't gotten any help out
Bro,
there.
bro, the way insurance works is so fucked up. So my brother here, his basement or his house flooded, pipe burst or something. I don't know, whatever. But it's kitchen flooded, or whatever. And it happened from somebody messed up from the plumbing from the street or whatever, and it flooded his house. So they're like, they come out and they're like, oh yeah, insurance adjuster comes out, whatever, and then they're like, we're not going to fix anything though because it's the county's fault. The county's like, we're not going to okay it because we need to go through this lawsuit. So nothing's getting fixed at his house until the insurance company settles with the county to figure out whose fault it is. And so he's literally living in like a house that's fucked up, and he's either got to fix it out of pocket and try to get him afterwards, or wait for them to figure it out. And it's like this happens all the time. It's not even just with the fires.
Yeah.
It can happen to you here today.
And that's virtually the same thing that's happening with this Altadena situation, is because you have the insurance and everything, but now they've also got video of where the fire originated, which was right underneath power lines. So now you've got already a lawsuit filed against Southern California Edison's, the power company there. So that's
Evan, you
also
okay over there, buddy?
Yeah, just allergies are acting.
He's
up.
emotional right now.
You're
Just hearing about it.
looking
It's so
like
sad.
dude, I can see that you're very emotional about this. Either that or you just did a line of coke,
It feels for those.
or you just did a fucking line of
Yeah, I
smelling
got
salts.
I don't have it with me, but we can clear that allergy right up.
Bro, I need to get me some of those.
I'll have some right now.
So in
please.
conclusion, Kate Beckinsale, spin a night bag, bring it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That
All right,
sounds
guys. You guys done for the night?
Done.
Yep.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks again.
Night, guys.
Yep. This
Bye.
episode brought to you by the Enron Egg.
And liquid death.
Protected for vibrant nights in the fray. Nothing off limits, we got something to say. Life and love